Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Digital Quill Podcast. I have with me a very special opportunity. If you would please go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hey, everybody. My name is Steve Vega. I am the owner of SC Cannabis and D Treats Edibles. I've been in the cannabis industry for about 13 years. And what I do is I entertain cannabis people in the industry and give them education and transparency on cannabis.
That's actually pretty cool, and that's a lot of the reason why I wanted to have you on today, because I'm more of a recreational person, but I kind of noticed that through my own PTSD and anxiety and stuff like that, I've kind of I've noticed that I need it for more medical-based things. It's kind of just to give you a bit of my own background when it comes to cannabis use. I started when I was about 15.
Okay.
I had my first with a girl that I was dating at the time, and I had never felt that much relaxation in my life.
Right.
I literally felt like I melted into the chair, and that was the first time I ever felt fully freaking relaxed. And I was sitting there like, is this what real relaxation feels like?
We call that in the industry the melting butter effect.
Yeah. Well, I am happy to be a melted piece of butter.
Right? It's like a pat of butter on a piece of toast.
But that is also kind of like another question I have. Why can't I experience my first high?
So your body is built with a system called an endocannabinoid system. This system helps you cellulose or absorb THC in the body and bring it into the receptors of our body. Our body as human beings have two different receptors, the CBD1 receptor, which is the top half of your body, and then CBD2 receptor, which are the lower portions of your body. Each different receptor bodies have what are called phytocannabinoids. And as you continue using, you build resiliency over these cannabinoids because they stick to your body. Our body as a human beings, we have natural CBD in our blood, in our system, cannabidiol.
Okay.
So it's very easy for cannabis to absorb to our body. That's why when you smoke cannabis, it goes fat to all your fat solubles and the fat lipids in your body, and it stores. That's why it's really hard to pass a piss test if you're trying to be clean. So it's just as you build tolerancy as smoking, THC levels, terpenes are a very big matter in this whole big conspiracy of tolerance. Terpenes match the endocannabinoid system in such a way that they give you an entourage effect with THC. And that is what gives you that awesome relaxed feeling, giddy feeling, inflammation reduction, neuropathy, food cravings. There's so many different things that terpenes do with cannabis to give you those systemic medicinal steps.
Interesting. Now, question I actually do have for you that's kind of important to me. My biological mother was on a number of different things when she was pregnant with me. Marijuana definitely being one of those, but definitely some of the more harder stuff like meth. How would marijuana affect fetal development?
So there has been a lot of case studies for a latter part of 20 years on cannabis with pregnant women, people, and especially in different trimesters.
Okay.
Right now, the only thing that they have against women using cannabis as pregnancy is that it can thin the amniotic sac lining because of overuse of cannabinoid production.
I see.
So it's still being researched, but I've known many mothers that are cannabis users, and their babies had no adverse effects, desensitizations of growth or anything like that. It's actually a big systemic issue in our country. A lot of mothers are losing their children to DCS and foster care for the sole fact is that there are women that have very rare congenital diseases or very minute diseases that have specific things, and they want to do holistic, which is cannabis, instead of using pharmaceuticals, which have been proven to show birth defects in children. So these women will do and take cannabis, and then because they take a blood test when you go into labor and delivery, right before you get checked in, and if you have any cannabinoids in your system, by law, the hospital must call Child Protective Services. And the first thing they do is, congratulations, you have a child, and we're going to take it.
Wow, okay.
Especially in Arizona. Right now, we're literally fighting. There is a company called Arizona Normal, and what they do is they advocate for the Arizona citizen and the cannabis consumer of your laws, your litigation, knowing what's going on in your Senate and congressional hearings about cannabis law, because there's going to be a very potential change in the industry and how everything is consumed and how things are given and how things are monetized.
I know I'm not super well versed in all of that. That's something I'm actually trying to dip my foot in a little bit more, but there is a state right now that only allows edibles, if I'm not mistaken, and it is let's see, Arkansas or something like that.
So yeah, Arkansas just became one of the newer states that just legalized cannabis on a medicinal level. They are still trying to figure out recreationally, but their laws are very constringent. So you have to get a medical waiver from your doctor. It's a whole process. And you can only get edibles at this time. Flower is still considered illegal. A lot of places were doing that. Florida did that for a long time, but then they became medical and recreational. New York did that for at one point in time. It didn't really work out for them. So it's a platform of laws and trying to mitigate on how people are going to make money off of this.
So we live here in Arizona, obviously, and you know a lot about the Arizona law. How new is recreational and medical in the Arizona market?
Oh, so we've been in the recreational market for quite some time. Prop 205 passed, I believe, in 2015.
Okay.
So we've been in a recreational market for a latter part of almost a decade. And it's been a plus for the Arizona industry, and it's also been a negative. And the reason why I say that is that the medical program in Arizona was a very, very select program that had a very different approach of other medical programs that have happened in the country. And we were one of the last medical programs that were really facing and projecting cannabis to be for the patient. It was medicinal. We educated people. We were transparent. We didn't treat it as a fun time or as a party drug. And when recreational came in, yes, profits soared. I think the first year we made almost $70 million in just our state, and it was like $8.6 billion in the country of profits. I mean, progressively, cannabis is toppling over alcohol and cigarettes. There's actually a 5% decrease in alcohol, which is a big shift.
I am okay with that.
And I am too. And that's the thing, is that's what it was meant to be. But as recreationalized becomes more corporatizing, and the mom and pop shops are starting to fall away or sell out because corporate's taken over. And especially in our market, our industry was called the mom and pop stage back in the day. 10 years ago, we had independently owned dispensaries. We had over 50. We were the largest in the nation to have independently owned, equity-owned licenses in Arizona. And as corporatized came through with recrealization, we only have 3.
I have to admit something. I don't know how much you know about me, but I am a mom and pop person all the way. The only reason I deal with any sort of corporate anything is because of convenience and because it's there, you know?
Unfortunately.
I don't want it to be.
Right.
I hate the ever-living heck out of corporations. I'm on the side of death to corporations. There was a beautiful little mom and pop shop just up the road that I like going to before Jars bought it out. And Debbie's. I don't know if you...
Oh, yeah, Debbie's Dispensary. I actually knew Debbie. She was a really sweet lady.
I think I met her once while I was shopping there, and her energy was amazing. They
had 5 locations, and then Jars came through, and they were a corporate cannabis company. And here's the thing, is that when corporate comes through and these small business people are literally, they are nickeling and diming to make a profit. They actually, when they give you discount and value, they give you discount and value. Corporate comes in, they give you a great price. It's really hard not to say no.
That's kind of what I assumed would happen. Is I had a feeling most mom and pop shops don't want to give up their mom and pop shops. They really don't. But when you have Big Papa coming in and being like, hey, we'll essentially buy you out and then plus some, and it's kind of like, you know, you have kids to feed, you have a family to put food on the table for, like...
I mean, it's even more than that. I mean, on an operational level, when you are running a dispensary, there's so many costs that people don't even see. They just think that, hey, you got the money for a dispensary, you're making buku bucks because traffic is always coming. But there's operational costs for literally everything that you're doing, and it becomes overbearing sometimes and a little cumbersome to the point where people are questioning if they want to do this for the rest of their life. I knew a couple owners. They were like, this was fun. I want to do the next thing.
So it's also a very competitive market too.
100%. we have the highest overturn rate in the nation on any kind of job.
Wow. Okay.
Well, to just be transparent, 65% of the workforce is 25 to 21. And with this new generation of kids, they think that a cannabis job is like fun, like working at Peter Piper when you were back in our day, like
it's a serious business.
It is a serious business, but if you really think about it, a lot of these kids are just there because they're working for the weed experience, that highlight, having a facility agent card, it's like a statue, like, man, look, see, I'm doing this, bro. Like, I'm part of that life.
It's bragging rights, essentially.
A little bit. And the thing about it is that the education has literally started to withdraw in our industry. And that's what our consumers are really upset about. And that's why I created SC Cannabis for the sole fact is that me being in the industry for almost 13 years, I was tired of seeing the day after day, same thing, repetitiveness in our industry. Consumers are paying hard-earned money for events that are not giving out what we like to use, the three-letter word, ROI, the return of investment. Mm-hmm. These are patients. These are people who are on fixed incomes. These are people that can't spend $200 a ticket just to get 3 or 4 items and stand in line for half of their event. It takes away. It takes away of trust. It takes away of the ability to believe in your industry and your product brands.
I'm not, as I said before, I'm not super on it. I'm more of a consumer, and that's actually like what I don't like about being a consumer is because there is science to it. There's science to the 100%. Business of it, and there's science to the medical aspect of it. And now I want to circle back to that a little bit. So number one, I already had a feeling that it wasn't the cannabis that messed up my brain in fetal development. It was 100% the alcohol and the meth.
100%.
I'm glad that you were able to educate me on that because it's, I always had a suspicion. I was like, I have PTSD, I have ADHD, I have autism, and medication like marijuana helps me with that because I'm able to focus better. Right. I noticed after the first few nights that I had stopped smoking, my insomnia, I have bad insomnia sometimes. I was born without an internal clock. Thank you, methamphetamines. But I couldn't sleep. Right. I didn't feel restful sleep. So to know that it isn't that big of a effect on fetal development is kind of a breath of fresh air. Right. Because I always had the suspicion, I was a baby in the womb once. I don't remember the experience, but I was there. I right. experienced it. At risk of sounding completely dumb, but I guess my question on that aspect is, for people with PTSD and insomnia and like ADHD, how does that help them in their daily lives? Because I know how it helps me. Right. I can't necessarily put it all into words, though.
Well, I mean, our biggest consumer are people that have the highest behavioral health or mental health disorders. And I suffer from them too. I unfortunately have combat PTSD. I served in the Army. Got
Thank
deployed
you for
twice.
Your service, by the way.
Thank you. Unfortunately, had to do some things and took it home with me. And what happened was that I had to get self-medicated. When I came home, they gave me uppers, downers, mood stabilizers, pain reduction. I used to take 8 to 10 pills, and then that would make me so constipated I'd get dehydrated and I wouldn't want to eat. And then started chain smoking cigarettes, and then I started drinking. So it was a plateau of different things because I was trying to mask the different things that were happening going on with me. When I was introduced to cannabis, one of my vet buddies was out and he found cannabis through his friend. And I was going through a really bad time mentally, trying to find out who I was. And he came with a joint and he was just like, smoke this. And I was like, I ain't touching that shit, bro. I'm not working with that, bro. That's drugs. And he was like, shut up, hit this, and then talk to me. And at my breaking point, I buckled and I lit that joint and I was like, what else? I was thinking about killing myself. And
I'm glad you're still here with us.
Thank you. And I took a hit, and when you said, that melting butter effect, that really resonated with me, because when I talk to people and I give them my story, I tell them that was the feeling that I got when I took 2 hits. First hit was nothing. The second hit, I really took a deep one, and I got lightheaded, and I sat back, and like you said, that melting butter, everything that was in pain just started to go away. The voices in my head, per se, there weren't really voices, but my internal thoughts started to not scream as much, started to get a little bit more quieter. And I started to just break down and cry, because that was the first time in a very long time I actually felt myself.
Wow.
And after that, I woke up the next day. At the time, I had a 1-year-old, and I promised him that I'd be better. I stopped cold turkey all the prescriptions that the VA gave me. And I asked my friend, how much do I get? And he started telling me what I needed to get. And for the next 6 months, I embedded myself on the internet in certifications and videos. YouTube was a big, great help of inspiring me and wanting me to know more about CBD and THC and the endocannabinoid system. And it was so rare back then because marijuana was just so brand new. So ever since then, I got fascinated by it, and I never stopped. And I truly believe, and with scientific study, back to your question, for people that have ADHD or mental health disorders or behavioral health disorders, especially like bipolar, depression, things like that, what cannabinoids do for the body. See, cannabinoids are a phytocannabinoid cell, and what they do is that they connect to the receptors of your body. These receptors are indigenous into your entire body, and this is what makes you function. They function the hypothalamus, or the thyroid in your body, which elevates the mood and how you feel. And terpenes are an essential aromatic terpenoid that really helps accentuate the THC in the body, giving you guys what you're feeling. And especially when people are behaviorally health or high strung, all right, your receptors are firing everywhere. Take a good CBD or THC combination that hits with the CBD1 receptors, and how that matches, because it's the terpenes that help make that THC go to that receptor. So usually flower and terpenes that congregate with the CBD1 receptor are the best for mental health and mental instabilities, because what it does, it's anxiety reduction. So people are they're high strung, right? They're getting freaked out. They don't know what to do. They start to not critically think anymore. They start to spaz out. Cannabis gets introduced within a 10-minute period, and there's been thousands of cases. Go out to usresearch.gov and you put in medical marijuana, and for the past 70 years, there's been over 3 million taxpayer-paid studies. And what they all come down to is marijuana's not that bad, guys. Marijuana's not that bad, and it helps. And that's the thing, is that ever since marijuana has been medically used and recreationally used in the United States of America, mental health has gone down by 20%. Suicide rates have gone down by 4%. Now, people that are like, 4%, that's nothing. 4% is a huge margin.
It is a big number.
Okay, and you got to understand that mental health is what is the epidemic in our country. Mental health steams everywhere, and mental health doesn't have to be, I'm depressed, I want to kill myself. Mental health and stability is everywhere. Look at our country.
It's like a dysregulation of self.
100%.
And that's why I do have an emphasis on self-care. There are some studies in some places, they're like, self-care is a farce, it's blah, blah, blah.
No, it's not.
You need to be taking care of yourself, because it goes into, if you're not pouring into your cup, how the heck are you going to pour into anyone else's? How are you going to pour into your workplace? How are you going to pour into your school? How are you going to pour into anything if you are not taking care of your brain and body first?
100%. And these are the most foundation words that people should live by, but they don't. It's like there's a invisible barrier or a block, and they can't penetrate through it.
They're buzzwords, but buzzwords are buzzwords because they make a lot of noise. And sometimes buzzwords aren't such a bad thing.
No.
They're sold to us as if they are, and that's like where I'm kind of like, okay, now hold on. Big companies, bad big company. It's not a bad thing.
Right.
It's so that also comes down to my next kind of question and kind of my frame of thought. how important to the individual is finding out what form of cannabinoids and stuff like that work for them? Because like it's not a one size fits all.
No, it's not. So everybody has a different endocannabinoid system. So my endocannabinoid system is different from yours, from your friends, from your mom's. Everybody has one, but our bodies, there's a lot that there's in the understanding and how cannabinoids work based on the bioavailability of your body. So bioavailability is the way that your body naturally absorbs things into its body in a cellular level. So cannabis, if smoked, inhalates through the blood-barrier wall. Okay. If it's eaten, it passes through the stomach, breaks down, goes into the gallbladder, into the liver, into the blood-barrier stream. Blood-barrier wall is a thin membrane lining between the tissue and the muscular system. This blood-barrier wall membrane is literally the blockage barrier for any pathogens and things like that bad to go into your bloodstream.
Okay.
Cannabis will go into the blood-barrier wall when it's digested internally, or it's what's called sublingual nanoparticalized.
That is a big word.
So nanoparticalized cannabis, or nano THC, is a subatomic. It's pretty much THC broken down into nano-sized molecules that are small enough to literally fall through that tissue membrane into the bloodstream, which gives you a more faster effect.
I am almost seeing a visual on how that works in my head.
Almost transdermal patches are same thing.
Okay.
So if you get a transdermal patch, you pop it on you, that medicine is going through the blood-barrier wall. It's going more direct into the system.
I've had a patch before, but not for anything related to this. Birth control patches are interesting.
Same methodology.
I was on that for a little bit. I can't do patches because I have really sensitive skin. So if I wear patches of any kind, I'm going to break out. Yeah.
It sucks.
Making sure that's okay because the cats have been running around like little crazy buffoons.
It's all right. They're having fun. There's company here.
I'm glad they're having fun, but guys, there's wires and stuff here. Be careful.
Okay, ma'am.
So I guess that also kind of brings to my next question, because obviously there's trial and error of finding what works for you, but are there any other ways of like finding what the best plan of action of ingesting or smoking?
100%. So when I was a bud tender, or I do bud tender training, or just talk to any kind of consumer that is very new to the industry of cannabis and understanding what to do, the first things first is that you need to understand them and what they're trying to do with cannabis.
Okay.
All right. You have a majority of people that are medicinally using it for whatever kind of ailment. And the only way to understand them, to give them the more better definition of what they can use or go path, is understanding what their needs are for cannabis. So you're a person coming in, hey, I'm new to this dispensary. I don't know what I'm doing. Awesome. Okay, well, what brings you to cannabis? Why are you trying cannabis? You know, I have a lot of anxiety. I just a lot of social anxiety. I get really closed-minded, tunnel vision. I start to sweat. I'm looking for something just to ease my anxiety. So, okay, totally understandable. I get anxiety too when I meet new people. Cool. Do you want something that is something more full body? Are you looking for more of a head relaxation? Or are you looking for a little bit of best of both worlds? Okay. And that's what you start to probe, because people are like, oh, what do you mean by that? Well, cannabis has 3 dominancies. And there's only 3 cannabis plants that are dominant: indica, sativa, and hybrid. Indica plants are a dominant plant that gives you more terpenology, that gives you a full body effect. Mm-hmm. So when you feel heavy, lethargic, lazy, I want to eat some food, that's a fucking good movie, that whole just is an indica plant.
Okay.
Right, indica plant. So the only difference between indica, sativa, and hybrid is how it grows and how the terpenology grows in that plant. Because indica grows something different than hybrid, and hybrid grows something different than sativa.
All right.
So these terpenes are, like I said, what help the cannabinoids hit your receptors in your body, giving you different kind of feelings. There's over 250 cannabis terpenes.
That's a lot of terpenes.
That's a lot of terpenes with cannabis mixed in different ways, do different things for the body. We're now genetically building specific strains to where people have AIDS or PTS or eating disorders that can't eat food. All right, they have a specific cannabis plant now, which it's called Burberry, and the specific terpenes after ingesting or consuming gives you the urge to just want to fucking rage the kitchen. And
that is good for people.
It is,
like
because
anorexia and stuff 100%, like that.
You know, like, full transparency, my stepdaughter suffers from eating disorder. And I got her onto a cannabis regimen because they wanted to pop her on pills and, you know, and stuff like that. I'm just like, what is that going to do but make her sicker?
Why is the medical field the first? Why is it always medicine the first thing? Like, I'm not saying medicine is a bad thing. There are some good things to medical science.
It's because they get paid.
Oh, of course.
They get paid
it always
to push
comes
that.
Back down to money.
100%. So I found a specific strain that wasn't that strain that I researched, but it had the terpenology profile that masked it. Okay. So she started smoking and eating, and within a week, she gained 2 more pounds. She looks a little bit not more like, you know, emaciated.
So she's starting to get some healthy weight on her.
And, you know, and the problem is that I use this therapy. She's 17 years old. A lot of people are like, well, she's a minor. But like, okay. But we use this as a medicinal. We're not using it as recreational. I'm not like, go smoke weed all day, have fun, have your friends come over and pop.
It's for medicine.
Right. We use it at certain times. She has to ask permission. Okay. There's education. My children are educated about cannabis. I'm not going to have my children be around or know that their father works in the industry without them knowing the actual potentials of cannabis. So when they're hanging out with their friends, they're like, man, I'm going to get high. But like, my kids can have a little bit more appreciation and knowledge, knowing that, well, where did you get that weed? Is that a friend's weed? Did you get it from a dispensary? Because I'm not going to be touching strangers' weed. Okay. Second of all, they'll have more of an education to actually know what it looks like. And see, that's the destigmatization, that education is such a critical thing in our state, in our market, in our industry, that if we can be transparent with the rest of the community, children, giving them education on safe practices, all right, understanding what types of cannabis is out there, what cannabis does, okay, these are the things that could help mitigate all this stereotypical crap in the industry and how we are such a gateway drug.
That's actually something I was taught back in elementary school, and it's kind of unfortunate because, given my background, my biological father, my biological mother, both profusely drug addicts. I don't know how much you know of the story. I don't know if I want to say it right here like I do all the time anyway, but I never met my biological mother. She was kicked out of my life at 19 days old because she was still heavy using in meth and stuff, and she abused me at 19 days old. Jesus. My biological father sexually assaulted me from the ages of 2 on up. So there is a lot of sexual trauma and physical trauma, mental trauma. CPTSD and PTSD are a thing. And there's also... though I haven't been officially diagnosed with it, through a lot of research, a lot of studying, and a lot of medical reading, I am pretty sure that I have a traumatic brain injury from not only what he was doing back then, because when you have a 6'5" man who's like 280 something pounds using your body like a rag doll, there's going to be, you know, contusions or damages to the brain and stuff like that. So it's I'm definitely dealing with a lot when it comes to what's going on inside the organ that pilots my body.
Right.
And that's why I hated when I was in science class in 6th grade and my science teacher made me an example and was like, "This is why you kids should never do drugs." He literally put me on the spot a few different times over that. It was not cool looking back. At the time, I didn't know any better because I was in school.
Right. And as you grow up, you're kind of like, man, I had some words to say to him if I was fucking had a time machine.
Yeah, like I feel like I could go back in time and educate a few different people over things that probably, you know, the knowledge is 20/20 or hindsight's 20/20.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never really thought of. For a while, I did when I was a kid, going through the, you know, DARE, the Truth About Drugs and stuff like that. Those 2 programs, I'm sure you were aware of them.
I remember Scruff McGruff.
Yeah. And even when I was reading like the pamphlets and flyers, like marijuana, cannabis never seemed like something that was a gateway. what seems like a gateway is poor mental health and poor education.
100,000,000,000%. You just nailed it right there. That is exactly what is the huge epidemic in our world, is misinformation. I mean, just step back and look on what's going on in the world.
Start asking questions. Why do people do this? How does it affect the people? Even more so, start asking questions, like even deeper questions, not just surface level questions, without having like a case by case study right in front of me. I can't ask a specific question, but you get the idea.
Yes, ma'am.
I guess that's also my next question. When you have so many things going on in my brain, like PTSD and TBI and anxiety and insomnia, like how do you tailor such a specific plan? Because there's going to be different targets. So,
So with that, how I can help you relate to my own personal mental health and trauma is that, yes, you are targeting different things aspect, but it all comes and condenses to one thing. Mental health, the brain. Okay. So we all know that the CBD1, well, now you know that CBD1 receptors affect the brain. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we digress. We start researching. We start looking at what terpenes affect the CBD1 receptor. And then you start educating yourself, like beta-pinene, myrcene. Myrcene is a very, very potent terpene. All right. Myrcene used enough will literally reduce. How do you
spell that?
Myrcene, M-E-R-Y-S-I-N-E. Myrcene. You know what? I got a phone for that.
That's a good call, because that is something I definitely want to look up. But, yeah.
Myrcene. Not nursing. Myrcene terpene. M-E-R-S-O-N. Myrcene. There you go. Thank you. I don't need that whole thing.
Thank you.
So yeah, terpenes are very specific in what they do for the body. So when we have a lot of mental health disorders, it's literally a misfiring of the neurons and the receptors of the brain. Okay, we have different parts of the brain. Okay, we have the cranium, the cerebellum. Okay, where majority of mental health is in the cerebellum brain. Okay. So trying to literally just find, it's just bringing down, doing a little research. All right, there's not many strains that are in our market. All right, there's different strains throughout the whole country, but in our market specifically, we have a select few. So using great resources like kitty climbing.
I was wondering when she was gonna finally do that. Hey DJ, sweetheart, can you not do that?
But Mom.
Are you good, kid? No injuries? You landed on your feet?
100%.
Okay, good cat.
There's great tools and resources like Weed Maps, Leafly. These are cannabis apps and websites where you can go and actually learn about not only dispensaries, dispensary products, deals. They also have a location tracker to find out if you have a specific product that you're looking for, where and what dispensary it is for you, so you don't have to sit there and like search for it. But they have what is called THC 101. And then what that is a little breakdown of education. It's like a little college for you guys. That's free. Okay. It'll tell you about cannabis, what terpenes are, cannabinoids, different things like that. It'll tell you between vapes, cannabis, blunts, rosin, non-rosin, different things like that, and what they do to the body. But also, if you're looking for a specific strain, you just type in a specific strain, and it will tell you the whole education on the terpenes, the cannabinoids, what it does for the body, what it does for the effect, where you can find it, and if you can't find it, where in the nation can you find it?
Okay.
So there's great tools out there to help you kind of customize your selection to make sure that it's what you want. But majority of people, they just literally go to a dispensary and they tell people what they're feeling. It's like going to the doctor's office. I have anxiety. Cool. Well, I got this right here, man. This is a hash hole, like I brought today. So Hash Holes is one of the top cannabis brands here in the industry. This is a 2.5 gram little toy that you can smoke that has rosin. Now, rosin is the cleanest, most concentrated form of cannabis that's washed through the industry. It's the highest demand brand. I mean, they go anywhere from $60 to $120 a gram for rosin because of the terpene degradation and the cannabinoids. It's full spectrum. Full spectrum means that you're getting all the goodies from the plant, which means that you're getting the chlorophyll, the terpenes, the cannabinoids. Nothing has been denatured or taken away through the process of breaking it down.
Okay.
So, and that's what happens is, I mean, we go into a facility and talking about production and stuff like that. There's a lot of stuff of reintroduced into your products because denaturing process is a thing when you create product, even in cooking.
So it's kind of like, instead of actually using the plant at its natural state, you're adding a whole bunch of like additives to it.
What we additives? So what they do is you lose terpene degradation. So there's terpenes in your plant. When you break down that plant and you're starting to process that plant, you're going to lose things with 3 things: oxidation, heating, and then just wear and tear of the oxidation itself.
Interesting.
So terpene degradation starts to go away. And what they do is, as through the process, they'll wash product and clean it with cold ice. It's called ice wash to make what is called rosin. So what they do is they freeze that plant in a cold wash to the point where all the trichomes, which is the THC that you guys love, fall off the plant. And then what they do is they wash it and clean it, and then they scoop all that crystal, and then they press that to give you the rosin that you're looking for, or they whip it to make whipped rosin. There's different methodologies to do that. But essentially that is the cleanest form of concentrate.
If I'm not mistaken, my main brand, I shop at Mint. All right.
Okay. Shout out to Raul.
I like Mint dispensaries a lot more than I like jars. All right.
Okay.
We shopped at jars near Metro Center for a long time. Once they took over Debbie's, I got a burr up my butt about them because I realized how corporate jars was.
Yeah, I remember that place when it used to be Metro Meds.
Oh, so wow.
Yeah, that was before Debbie's.
Jars took over all of it. Wow. Non-shout out to you. Again, I have a burr up my butt over it. But I like Mint because the staff there seems really knowledgeable, for the most part, give or take. There, of course, have been 1 or 2 people now and again who don't know tit for tat, but that's to be expected, you know. I'm one of those people who don't know tit for tat, so it's cool. But Jeter is the brand that I like a lot, and I noticed that I usually can't do sativas.
Okay.
I really can't. Most of the time sativas will give me a headache, which is one of the things with TBIs I'm trying to avoid, is getting headaches. Because when I get headaches, they are a little bit more advanced of a migraine. I am down. I am down for the count. I can't think. I can't move. My appetite, my stomach, like, it's gone. I'll end up, if it progresses enough, I'll end up throwing up nothing. And
yeah, my wife is the same way.
It's a nightmare.
It is. It takes a piece of you away.
It does.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like a caged animal sometimes, and I don't like feeling like that because I'd rather be in control of my body. Thank you. Of course. But there is one sativa I've noticed that it does help me, and it's the honeydew sativa from Jeter. That one, that actually doesn't give me any headaches, but with my ADHD, I can deep focus on work for 6-8 hours on writing, on editing for the show. Like,
so let's find out.
Why is honeydew?
I'm going to find out right now, because the reason why I said that is my wife is the quality assurance manager for Jeter. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
She's been with them for 2.5 years. Jeter is one of our biggest supporters and sponsors for our events. They supported our last 3 events, and we work with them closely. Yeah, we got to hang out with Jay and Silent Bob last year with Jeter.
That's awesome.
Got to sign autographs and got to actually snoochie boochies and smoke with them. Actually, Jay doesn't smoke anymore. It's only Kevin Smith. So, but I'm going to find, because I have a terpene profile from Jeter, and we're going to find out what actual terpenes are in the honeydew terpene. Honeydew terpene. Not your there. Let's see. The functional flavors. Here we go.
And I really love that it can give me such deep focus, because once I started paying attention to how marijuana and cannabis and stuff like that affects my body and my focus and my brain, I was like, I can work. I can work and focus without getting distracted and using executive dysfunction disorder. What?
Oh, now I see why. Okay, Here we go. So, honeydew. The honeydew terpene blend, considered by some to be the least of the melons, honeydews are traditionally an unwanted but necessary inclusion in a fruit salad and virtually nothing else. But this honeydew has a different floral, velvety melon base with terpenes of myrcene, pinene, beta pinene, and camophylline. And linalool. Ooh, linalool. That girl shit.
Okay, that's Greek to me. Can you break that down in layman's terms?
So these are dominant terpenes. Beta carophylline is a mood amplifier. Okay. So this terpene specifically helps with mental health. So it gives you the ability to feel more productive. It makes you feel like you actually want to do shit. You know, you're in a depressive mood. You don't want to do anything. You're lethargic. You're just
executive dysfunction is at full force.
Any kind of plant or any kind of cannabis that has the beta camophylline is a great mood booster. That's what they say when you look at things. They're like, "Ooh, it has good energy." Beta camophylline is attributed to that, but there's more.
Okay.
Now, terpenes blended together gives you different reactions with cannabis, like I said. So D-limonene. So there's 4 different phases of limonene. There's regular limonene, D-limonene, beta limonene, and alpha limonene. Now, these are all the same, but they do different things because the terpenology of that terpene is so vast. Limonene is a anti-absorbent and an antifungal, and also provides de-inflammation of the body.
That is one of the keys to why it doesn't affect my TBI. Holy heck.
And then the last one that finishes all together, it's linalool. Linalool is an anxiety relief terpene. So that is that terpene all blended together. I like to call it the chill the fuck out terpene blend.
Okay.
And that's why you probably feel productive. That's why you feel like you're motivated to do more things. You can actually progress and feel that you're motivated to do things after consuming honeydew. That's the reason why the honeydew is one of their top 3 sellers at Jeter. Well, shout out to Jeter, and I don't even work for you guys.
Honestly, I've been in love with your guys' products for too long. A couple years ago, one of my birthdays, they came out with this box of cherry blossom, lychee. And then there was a third one. There was like a try.
The cherry blossom, the leche, and I believe it was the boysenberry.
I think so.
Or bossberry, something like that. It was a berry.
I think, yeah. And I got that pack because it was the first time I was able to get any pins. I love enamel pins. I'm a sucker for those. And the lychee, the leche.
The leche?
Not necessarily my favorite. I liked the cherry blossom because it...
that one was my least favorite because it tastes like a perfume.
It did kind of taste perfumey. The taste in it, like that's one of the things I look for when I'm smoking is taste. Right. I'm big on taste because that's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of like vapes and stuff. Once I start to taste that vegetable oil taste or something like that or whatever it is,
PCG, yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're done. Goodbye. It's why I prefer flower or pre-rolls. I look for taste. I look for how it affects me, like physically, mentally, what I'm able to do. And I feel like that's actually the 2 main things, like body, mind, and taste.
The last thing you should be doing that I've learned and evolved over being a cannabis smoker is the takeaway, the come down. It's great getting up there, but how long are you peaking? And then what does the come down feel? Because what I've personally learned from my body and other consumers and friends that work with me is that, I don't want to say cheap weed, but value weed, Snickle Fritz, whatever you guys want to call it, the bottom of the bucket, when you're smoking that, you're tending to smoke more of it and you get less of the effect. Okay. But when you get more primo stuff and stuff that is more full-bodied and fresh, you have a longer peak. Which
in
means
other words, a longer shelf life, essentially.
Shelf life is great. I mean, shelf life is based on how you store it.
Okay.
I mean, they store it by DHS policy, but when you take it home, a lot of people are not really savvy on how to store their cannabis. They'll just leave it and let it hang out. They'll open the jar and forget about it. And then they get pissed off because the next day it's dried out. That's why stoners and connoisseurs do tips and tricks to kind of, negate all that stuff and how to rehydrate marijuana and stuff like that.
There's a way to do that at home?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What?
So all you have to do is if you have a jar and you left your jar open and you fell asleep and you woke up and your weed's all crusty. You're like, damn, I just wasted $60 on that. Am I going to throw this away? No. What we're going to do is we're going to take a wet paper towel and we're just going to damp it. Very damp. Okay. And then we're going to just put it on top of that jar and then put the lid on top of it. Don't close it all the way. Just put it to seal it. And then wait 10 minutes.
Basically a humidor.
Exactly. What you're doing is you're inviting moisture to go back into the plant because it's dry. And what it does is that the moisture literally combines with the oil, which is THC, in the plant, rehydration it, giving more of that luster and fluff. You don't want it too hydrated because then you won't be able to smoke it. It'll be a wet smoke. And that's literally trying to like smoke on flower and it just keeps going out. You want it perfect. So 10 minutes is all you need. You pop it open, bouncy a little bit again, and then you break that thing down and start smoking.
I am learning so much right now. Huh.
Simple things. I mean, and if you don't know, YouTube, it's a great resource. It's great to watch videos, but if you want to educate yourself, type it in. I want to learn how to press. I want to learn how to roll a joint. I want to learn they have scientific videos that show you the scientific formulation of THC and how it runs through the system. It's almost like a biological video at school. It's really cool. You want to learn how to press. You want to cultivate. You want to grow your own cannabis. They got a video for everything.
Now, I feel like I keep starting every sentence with that word.
Well.
Well then, also, I do also a lot, especially when texting. It's a habit I need to break.
That's all right.
But let's see, where was I? Brain thought. Why would so I don't hate it. There are some waxes and some like dabs that I've had that I don't mind. Okay. But the majority of the dabs I can't do because I will end up with a headache. Why is that? Is it the way it's smoked? Is it the way that it's processed?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
So to dive into that, it is all about first your body, the physiology, okay? Concentrates are a very concentrated source, henceforth why they're called concentrates. Concentrates are something that are high THC. That means anything that's higher than 30%.
Okay.
All right, you got to remember, like 50 years ago when we were smoking weed was legal tender, things like that. Cannabis was like at 4 to 8%. We call that hot hemp now in our day. Hot hemp is under 3%, 5%. That's called hot hemp. But now we got THC, like this hash hole is testing at 32%. That's good. I mean, it's not crazy. I'm not trying to get retarded, but this is a good source of weed. But now THC is becoming too crazy. Concentrates are at 80, 90. Sometimes I saw 100% THC cannabinoid output. Now you guys understand this. There's some products out there that are just all THC. Some products that are broad spectrum, which means that you are getting terpenes and cannabinoids a little bit. Then you have full spectrum. Full spectrum, which is rosin, which gives you every and all benefits of the plant. And that's why it's so high commodity, and that's why it's so expensive.
Isn't Jeter now doing rosin-based?
So Jeter in California, they do have a concentrate line. Mm-hmm. They do diamonds, distillate, and now they are doing rosin. Here in this market, they cannot get an adjacent licensing. Mm-hmm. Jeter shares the licensing with Sonoran Roots Dispensary. I've heard
of them, I feel like.
Sonoran Roots is also Ponderosa Dispensary.
Okay.
Right there on Northern 91st Avenue. They are a great company as well, so they share that licensing, and unfortunately with that licensing, they need more space to have a cultivation in order to process and do concentrates. So that's the reason why the Arizona market has not ever seen any of their concentrate or edible brands. Jeter has edibles too. Yeah, only in California and now in New York, because they launched in New York 2 months ago.
I'm kind of wondering how As I said, there are some like live rosin and some
so there's
concentrates that I can do, but
right.
kind of wondering just how I've had a really good rapport when it comes to any product I've had for the most part with Jeter. I'm kind of wondering if I would be able to handle the processing body-wise and brain-wise.
So what I've found out, because you have a lot of the same things that my wife deals with, and she's been my guinea pig, and it's the reason, like, my goal was to save her life, and I needed to find different things to help her and save her life, make her feel comfortable and feel like a human being. So I've literally been her Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and I've found results to help her be the human being that she can be today. And
good on you.
Thank you. And what I found out is that distillate, which is just pure THC, okay, pure THC is too much for the endocannabinoid system and for your body. We're not meant to take copious amounts of that shit. That's the reason why you see people at all these events are dropping like flies, or over inhalation. That's another issue, is that when you're doing these dabs, all right, if you're on a rig, you're getting burned, right? And you got to suck.
You're also sucking in the fuel and stuff too.
Well, there's no fuel. I mean, it's a carcinogen no matter what, because anything that burns turns into what? A carcinogen.
That's true.
So it's a lesser of a carcinogen than tobacco, because tobacco has additives, chemicals, all that shit. So it's a lesser carcinogen, but still carcinogen added, and your body can't absorb massive amount of carcinogens. So you overindulge, you start to cough. Your body, what it does is when your lungs get overzealous or overactive and working, they start to go into a defense mode, and what that is called coughing. So you start choking and coughing. Your chest starts to hurt. You feel like you're dying. You're like, I don't know where I'm going. Did I take some acid? You know? So like, and what that is, it is a natural body reaction. We are doing something that shouldn't have been done to the body.
So stay away from concentrates.
No, not at all. I'm just saying it's a body's natural defensive reaction to do what you're doing. All right. But what I found out is that moving up into like diamonds or rosin, you start to taste more of the plant. You start to get more of the body, and you start to find yourself that you're not trying to take huge globs to get to the effect that you're looking for as a medicinal patient. Now, for recreational users, I know you guys out there, I have my best friend, shout out to Pepper, the champ. This guy takes 5 grams of dabs every morning. Like, he's the Arizona champ. I think he took 20 grams in one sash at a hit.
Highly respectable for that.
I couldn't do it. I only did 12, and I don't remember that night because I passed out. But it's just essentially for your body, dear, it's just understanding how much you can take. Start small. See how the effects work for you. Take a baby hit. All right? If you feel a headache or a migraine, then don't touch it.
Okay.
But if you start to take a baby hit and you're like, you know what? This is not bad. I'm feeling it. It's good. I'm not getting those reactions I usually get. Then write that down. Didn't give me a headache. Works good. Affordable pricing. Now you're starting to know different selections of what really works for you, instead of you just guessing all the time or trying to find that digression of research. Now you know, well, this product right here from this dispensary, this works right here for me. And that's a starting point for you. Because then you do research on that product and what's inside of it. What's the terpenes? Now you know that, well, I feel great when I take this product, and this product has these terpenes. Now you have a baseline of what terpenes work for you. And the physiology of your body will not change. You're already there.
So that was actually going to be my next question. Am I going to need to adjust and manipulate my intake plan as I go through life? Like, yes. Okay.
That's with everybody. Like I said back in the beginning, you're going to build a resiliency. It depends on how much you consume. Like, I'm a daily consumer. I have been smoking for 10 years, ever since I got out of the military. Like, I tried to abstain for 6 months because I had a point in my life where I thought I was going to re-enlist into the military, and I thought that was the right thing to do for my family because my wife was suffering with a tumor in her head, and I wanted to make sure that I had stability. So I tried to abstain, and that were the worst 6 months of my entire life. I was an asshole. I was irritated. I was angry about shit that I didn't even know I was angry about. I was mad at the people that were trying to support me, and I didn't understand why I was mad at them. I started to lose who I was again. My PTSD was heightened. Things would trigger me out of nowhere. Car sounds, things like that. I would start to get irritated and be like, what the fuck? You know, people don't understand me. Like, it was bad. And I mean, I got over the hump and I was going to do that, but essentially I just felt that a life decision like that I didn't want to make again. And I've had such a relationship and a bond with cannabis. Was I really willing to let go who I was? And I wasn't, because
good.
It took a long time to get here, and I wasn't ready to do that all over again.
Not to cut you off or anything, but you are a great human being. I've appreciated knowing you so far, and I'm really glad that we're getting to do this today, because it's knowing what you've been able to do just for yourself through cannabis, for your family, for your friends. Like, that's why I'm like so appreciative and so glad that you were willing to teach me and come on the show with me, because I have a relationship with cannabis too.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that I cannot be the kind of person who gives it up permanently, because it does too many good things for me. At the risk of sounding like an addict, which is my joke, and I'm not an addict because I've been off of it for 2 weeks now. Mostly because of cost, because money's a thing. Money's tight right now. But in these couple of weeks, it's also been kind of an experiment for me. My insomnia, I definitely still have that. And when I am using it daily, even in a recreational format, my insomnia is almost next to nothing. I do get actual full night's rests of sleep, even at 6-5 hours. Not really been the case lately. I've definitely been feeling the more bags under my eyes and the slower movement through the days. Just to also riff off of that a little bit, my PTSD, hypervigilance, you know what that is, the always feeling like you have to, your back is always really, tight.
Yeah.
Your muscles are tight. Like,
you always got to be on alert.
Even right now, like, I can feel the tension in my back and my neck, and when I'm using enough, like daily, that doesn't exist. 2 days after I stopped. I think it was 2 days after. I think it was the Tuesday, or Monday or Tuesday. We go into a store, super overstimulating. There's things everywhere. I get home and I am just angry at everything. And a friend of mine was like, "Do you think maybe it's because your body's coming down off of cannabis?" And I'm like, "No. It's not because of that. I am overstimulated right now. Cannabis would be helping me 100%. Right now. My brain cannot handle a lot of lights and sounds and colors. Like, if I'm in a department store, usually they're a little bit better, but we were at Book Off, and you know what Book Off is, right? A lot of things piled high to the wall. It's a lot. My body cannot handle that very well. It needs the terpenes. It needs the relaxation. Your body needs to
pregame before walking into a situation like that.
Social anxiety. I like a lot of people, especially new situations with my autism and ADHD.
100%. You need weed. If not, you're going to freak out.
I'm going to either freak out or shut down. And in a social situation at a party, you don't want to be the person that shuts down and can't talk to anybody, especially when you actually enjoy talking to people.
It's very detrimental, and not mention it exacerbates your social anxiety, because if you shut down in the middle of a large group of people that are about community and caring, you're going to have a million people asking you if you're all right.
And then you're going to be like, wow, what's wrong with me? Am I really such a bad, horrible person that I can't just communicate? Like, it starts to really wear down and affect you. And objectively, like, it's just how my brain functions.
It's an internal struggle.
It needs help. It needs help. It needs medicine.
100%. And the thing about this is that, it doesn't hurt you. It doesn't kill you. Out of we've been using cannabis for 4,000 years. And we do not have one death count. They are even saying now that overconsumption of cannabis cannot be considered as a DWI. We're trying to get that worked out, because they can't literally quantify on how stoned you are. They're trying to build a machine that says that, well, yeah, I got weed in my system, but weed metabolites into the fat cells. So I could have smoked 6 months ago. And then if you do a test on me, I'm still have weed in my system.
Now,
weed stays into your system up to 2 years, depending on how much fat you have in your body, how your bioavailability in your body absorbs and burns fat.
Interesting.
That's why they say that if you want to take THC out of your body, hydrate and work out. Because the first thing, what does your body do? After autophagy, it starts to burn fat. And the fat is where all the THC stores itself.
Now, say the weight I'm at now is not the weight I've always been.
Okay.
A couple years ago, I want to say 2018, 2019, 2020, I was at probably my heaviest weight at 185.
Damn, well, you look great now.
Thank you. I'm now sitting pretty around like 120, 123.
Yeah, that's what my wife is around, like 123.
I'd prefer to be about 115, but the thing is I'm trying to get more muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So
100%.
I'm
You
probably,
wanna bulk up.
I do want more muscle. Especially
you look really healthy.
I appreciate that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Now, if I had been more of a daily smoker back and then, how would fat have been, or my body fat been affecting me versus now?
Well, if you would have been more of an avid smoker, cannabis as a whole helps build a food-like appetite, but also it's a lesser evil too. It helps stimulate the metabolism. So that's why when your metabolism is burning, you get that craving for hunger. Why?
Okay.
Because your metabolism is burning all the fat and sugar in your body.
And your body's saying, I need more food.
And if you have a body like yourself, you have very little fat. So it starts to be like, all right, I need more sustenance. So you get that, damn, I'm hungry. I need munchies. I need some food. And that's why when you get like the sweet cravings, or if you want a taco or a burrito, or sometimes I know people like, damn, I want some fried chicken. You're like, that craving is your body trying to tell you that you are lacking a certain kind of mineral or substance in your body, and it needs it. That's another scientific thing. Another way to dive into is that hunger cravings have such a psychological method to the human brain.
Interesting.
That your body literally cons you into eating more. And that's the reason why people overeat and overconsume and overweight. And they're like, well, I eat my feelings, or I eat because this, and that. It's a psychological trip.
Okay.
Psychological trip. And that's going down a rabbit hole that I don't want to go to because, like, man, we'll be here for like days.
I also feel, I don't know how much my weight was affected. So I feel, without having been diagnosed with any form of anything at all, I think a lot of my like heavier set weight was not only body fat, but also water weight. When you start taking birth control, that's like one of the major side effects that you have to spend a lot of time with is getting down the water weight. So do different types of weight also affect that? Or is it kind of just
your body as a whole is going to be functionalized with cannabinoids and THC. It's the endocannabinoid system that functionalizes everything else in your body, like the endocrine system, the hypothalamus, the thyroid. These are the functionality main systems that work your body. So, and that's why, like, when people say, like, when I take, like fentanyl, you can take fentanyl, all right, that shit is the most deadliest thing in the fucking world. A grain rice of fentanyl will kill a group of people. And cannabis is what is called a non-external a drug, which means that it does not affect the major systems of our body, like the reproductive system or the cardiac system or our lungs. Okay. Other drugs like cocaine, methamphetamines, fentanyl,
blood system, circular everything.
This will literally crash everything in your body. Cannabis, all right, no one's done it yet, and I hope they don't, but you would have to literally smoke and ingest your body's legal limit times 3 in order to exacerbate and kill yourself. I believe there was 2 years ago, a man died. They tried to pin a man dying of cannabis consumption. They were trying to make him the first cannabis person to die of cannabis.
I think I remember something like that.
But they attributed that when his autopsy came back, he had other illicit drugs in his body that they couldn't see at original time of death.
It wasn't the cannabis.
No. They only attributed it because they smelt it off of him. They saw cannabis everywhere in his home. And he was in the middle of dabbing or something where he had a coronary and died. But
rest in peace, fellow.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they tried to burn us on that one, but they didn't stick it. We're still at 0. Cannabis is the only thing that is genetically fixed to the human body. I mean, it's the only plant. Think about this. There's billions of plants out there that are medicinal and work for us. But this one is genetically built for the human being.
So instead of calling it the devil's lettuce, it should be called God's greatest gift to man.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, just to me imagine that, 60 years ago when they were burning down natural wild cannabis that was just growing in the fields.
How rude.
Just to think about the terpenes and the cannabinoid structure that are ancient, that we probably don't even know about and never will, that could have done magical things for our body. Because we do have ancient terpenes and ancient cannabinoids that have, just like dinosaurs, have been extinct.
Gotta love Big Pharma.
It's just the world. It's evolution. It's the human being. We are a destructive force of nature.
Yeah, I would agree to that, or those apples. It's like my one gripe with humanity sometimes is like we are destructive people. We do tend to, miss the point a little bit here and there, but we also live in the 21st century now with literal internet and information at our fingertips. How we can still be so, for lack of a better phrase, stupid and destructive is beyond me.
Because we have all this resources and technological stuff in front of us, which makes us lazy. I mean, I just saw a video when in the 80s, and I remember, I was born in 84, and I lived the last of the 80s, and I was a 90s kid. We didn't have all this. We rode our bikes until the lights turned on. We hung out with our friends. If we wanted to talk to our friends, we went and saw them, or we wrote letters in class. Like, it was more interpersonal, more communication when we grew up.
Community-based, too.
Now everything is a screen. Everything's a text message, an email, a Skype. You don't have to personalize yourself anymore with the world, where the world is so convenient in here.
It's also like the anonymity too. You can be anonymous in more ways.
Yeah.
That's like the one other thing, like completely derailing the cannabis speak, but it's like my gripe when it comes to the internet and why, like, anytime I do post online, I try to put my full self out there no matter what. Like, as we were talking on the phone the other day, like, there is a difference between privacy and being personable, and I'm always trying to figure out how to strike that right balance, because I don't want to be half of me online. I want to be me, Mars, who I am, and
people need to accept you for who you are, or move
or
on.
Get the heck out of my face, because I'm reaching a point where I will fight people now. I don't care. If you don't like who I am and you want to make it my problem, go elsewhere.
I mean, don't even waste your energy. I've had the same issue in my industry. I got a lot of people that are rooting against me and my brand and what I do, because I do it differently. I do it better, apparently. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. We have enough room in this industry for everyone to be successful, but it's not like that. People take me as a threat. People take me as what I'm doing is I'm taking away from their bread.
But you're in your own lane. You're not crossing
100%.
over into theirs.
And you know what I do is that these people that want to chastise and break me down, at one point in time, I will be very transparent. I did let them affect me to a point where I almost gave up. And I had to redirect myself and remind myself that I am in control of my own story, not them. I am providing a service. I am doing it for them. They are not doing it for me. And I had to realign myself. And that's one thing that you should do for yourself as well, is that people, I'm empathic. I'm very, I mess with energies. I match energies, and that's the reason why I do business with people. It's energy based. I'm very serious when it comes to that, because if I don't feel a good vibe off of you, then I know that we're not going to do good business together, or even be friends, for the sole fact is that we don't match. Doesn't matter, energy, ideologies, things like that, and it's worked very well. You know, I'm a very open person. I give people abundant amounts of opportunities to let me in, be open. It's just when I feel something, I go with it. And ever since my intuition has led me to that, that's how I do business. And it's just based on, if you have the same visions of me, ideology, methodology, energy, same aspects, then I know there's growth there. We can become friends, we can become colleagues, we can collaborate, we can be business partners, whatever. There's opportunity.
We can push each other to be better versions of ourselves.
But if there's optimistic-y, there's coercion, there's people that just are always negative about it. They can't have optimism in their life. Unfortunately, those are the people that I personally feel that I can't give them my energy as much as I want to, because what they'll do is negate that, push it back, and use it as a way to bring me down.
And you can't take that energy on.
Not anymore. I'm not a young kid anymore. You know, when I was younger, I could take that bullshit and throw it to the side and be on my way. Now, I don't know if I'm getting soft as being older, but I feel literally that it affects me.
Now, I kind of want to riff off of that a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
I like to describe myself as a very energy sensitive person. I walk into a room and I can tell who has a dark energy and who doesn't, who's maybe having a bad day or who's the life of the party, you know? I don't always like that I'm able to do that, because trying to be transparent and find the words as I'm speaking out loud just through my thoughts. I don't always know how to process that.
Okay.
I don't always know how to handle other people. That's actually like one of the reasons why I want to try doing more community-based events and create my community and help bridge the gaps of other communities, because I have that ability. I recognize that ability in me, the ability to sense energy and see people that way. And I need to be able to utilize that. Otherwise, I'm going to keep making mistakes and keep doing things that aren't serving myself, therefore not serving the people around me. And I don't want to be, as I've put it before, I don't want to be a hurt person hurting people. Right. I'd rather be a hurt person healing people. And I say that because, you know, trauma happened. I'm always going to have that tail dragging behind me a little bit. I'm not going to escape the memories. I'm not going to escape the pain. I'm not going to escape the scars. I'm a hurt person. You know, it happened. There's damage there. There's scars on the heart and in the brain. I don't want to take that on and project it onto other people. I want to learn from my experiences and better the lives of not just myself, obviously. I'm living this life, but other people too, because I see the pain in other people and I'm like, what's going on? Like, for non-blondes, what's up? What's going on? And it's like, I can see where humans and even myself could be living lives that we love and live them powerfully. It's why I like doing this podcast and why I want to have more conversations like this face to face. Because I've been doing conversations through like Skype, or not Skype, but Discord and like video. And I love those. Those are great conversations. I can't meet those people in person yet. I'm coming for you guys one day. Once I travel, I'm hitting you up when I'm in your city.
There you go.
But it's like the energy is important. You can feel that sometimes, and I think even people who are like not energy sensitive, like they can feel it too. They're a human being with cells and the little alien thing attached to your brain inside your body. Like
but people that are not attuned to their own energies, they misconstrue that as attitude or
pain, or not pain, but yeah, attitude,
or being weird, or that person's off, or I don't know if I'd be able to hang out with that person. They're very judgmental, and that's misdirection of the human condition. So when you don't understand something, what do?
Judge it. You put it aside.
Exactly.
And people tend to fear what they don't understand. And that fear prevents you from doing a lot of cool stuff. If you're afraid, you're not going to want to step out of your comfort zone. You're not going to... That's why I like the term do it scared. If it's not going to kill you and it's not going to bite you, do it.
Because
do it anyway.
Grow from it, and it'll make you stronger. And people are like, well, how's it going to make me stronger? Because you did it and you thought you didn't do it.
Find out.
Exactly. You just found out. Now, do you think you can do it?
I cannot tell you the amount of times I've put those words into actions, and I've loved the results. I used to being autistic and ADHD, you know, no one really likes change. People like being comfortable. I like being comfortable. I like my fuzzy socks and my cow Dalmatian onesie thing as much as the next person, but also there's no growth in my cow Dalmatian onesie thing. There's no connection in my cow Dalmatian onesie thing. There is...
It's time to jump out of it and see what you can actually do with yourself.
Shed the skin a little bit now and again. They don't call it growing pains for no reason.
No, ma'am. No, they don't. It literally is a growing pain because it hurts you in a good and bad way.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel like, just to be open about this. And I'm glad I get to have this conversation with you and anyone.
Right.
That's what I hate about, like, even my own generation in society today. We seek comfort so much to the point where we are sabotaging ourselves. We are not allowing ourselves to connect on a human level. We are failing ourselves at the human condition. And
100%.
It's going to have to start with us. It's going to have to start with us stepping outside of our boxes.
Facts.
And trying a little. And it's going to be scary. It's going to hurt. It's not going to be pretty. You're going to have nights where you're going to cry sometimes. But I would rather be crying over something that I attempted to do than 25 years ago trying to figure out why I was raped.
That's a question and answer that
I'll never have.
And you'll always be digging in your head trying to find out.
Exactly.
And the one thing with my trauma, everyone has specific trauma and how they deal with it. My wife has trauma too. I guess it's our generation. We're the trauma generation. But, taking that trauma and turning it into a positive is a very hard thing to do. But what I have learned is by encompassing and embedding positive things to topple all the negative shit and trauma over time. And time is the key word here. You start to forget a little bit. Now, here's the thing about triggers, and people don't understand about triggers, is that when you are triggered, it can be unintentional, it can be intentional, and what it does is that it just triggers a segment of something that you had trauma with. That will never go away. But if you have control and you have so many beautiful things going on in your life that encompass the positivity of all the negative trauma that's happened in your life, you tend to recover faster. Trauma may be imprinted in you as a scar, but the scar does not have to define who you are.
Beautifully said. I love that. Riffing off of that, my very first, I was in therapy. I just want to put that out there for anyone who's like, go to therapy. I've done therapy.
We've all done therapy. It's too expensive.
Yeah. There are so many different types of therapies out there that isn't just sitting on a freaking couch and talking to somebody.
One was EMDR. That is a very stressful, but also very successful.
I had that one done to me a few different times when it first all started.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it can trigger more.
Sometimes it affects you in adverse ways.
Right. And sometimes it pushes you through that threshold to really conquer your demons.
And we all have them. We all have demons.
Amen.
I like that you had what you said there, because when I started kind of coming aware and started trying to like carve this path for myself to a better life after trauma and things, the very first thing that I started to realize and experience is I need to have better experiences. A good 75% of my life up to a certain point, or 85 if I'm being a little more generous, was all trauma based. It's all stuck in survival mode, stuck in that mindset, and stuck in my story. And I needed to, and I owed myself giving myself better experiences.
Yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
It's time to literally get out of your shell and start to really find out who Mars is.
And what Mars is capable of.
I think she's capable of a lot. All she needs to do is just ask for help.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. I'm at the stage where I make more suggestions than I used to, but now I need to actually be like, hey, nope, still can't do it.
It's a stepping stone, but you'll get there. I definitely see you have a lot of passion, and that is one thing that people lack in this world. Passion.
how do I take my passion and give it to people?
You can't.
Okay.
But you can inspire. That's what I do. I take the people that are uninspired, that have no goals, that have no ambitions, and I tell them my story. I tell them how I've overcome. And then I show them. See, talk is cheap in the world, but when you show action, and you show the receipts, people start to take you more seriously and believe in what you're doing. And that's all you need to do. You have a platform, you have ambition, you have drive, you have something you believe in, and you are already ahead of the curve of most people. People are still in brainstorming sessions right now. Should I? Shouldn't I? I don't know. Maybe. Let me go get a candle.
You should.
You should do it. Life is short. Our world is literally unspinning, and we don't know what tomorrow brings. We don't know what next week brings. We don't know what next year brings. I mean, between the world, World War III, our president, the spaceship at 3i Atlas in the sky that's supposed to be coming to Earth and taking all our brains. Like, I mean, there's so much going on. That is the reason why the world is on tilt. Is because everyone is misdirected into what they need to do for themselves.
We have a lot of misguided, unaligned people, and that's like, again, that's why I wanted to start this. I saw it in myself, and then I started seeing it in my friends and my loved ones and my family, and I'm like, there's a problem here. There's a problem here, and I don't like that. I'm a solutions person.
Right.
I don't like there being problems. For every one problem, I'm going to spitball 100 different solutions. Let's see what sticks. At least that is who I like being now, because there was a time, long time, I wasn't really in the solution mindset. I was skirting around it. I had some solutions, but none of them really stuck.
Right.
Until I actually started sticking to the guns and being like, okay, we're going to do this and try that and then do that. Oh, what worked there? What worked here? And nothing really worked there, but why? And reassess, realign, start guiding myself down paths, because I was misguided too. We all start somewhere.
It happens. And that's the thing, is that you found yourself, you found your way, and now you're moving forward.
And I'm still kind of carving out that way a little bit, because I'm at phase one of finding not phase one of finding myself, having found myself.
Right.
I'm now at the phase one of, okay, this is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I want to do. Now, how am I going to do it? And from there, what's next after I do the how, which I should probably focus on the how first and then get to the what's next afterwards. But hey, everything's a work in progress. Everything.
One thing that one of my platoon instructors told me when I was back in the Army, always be prepared, ABP, and it's stuck with me for the rest of my life. When you have a plan ahead of your plan, then you're not unprepared. And if you're not unprepared, you're not set up for failure. If you're not set up for failure, then you must be set up for success.
Okay.
I mean, like, it's just scaling. Give yourself a reason to doubt yourself. Give you a reason to motivate yourself.
If you give yourself a reason to doubt yourself, that's all your brain's going to know.
That's it. Literally, when people say manifest shit, manifest. If you're like, no, I'm not going to get that. Yeah, motherfucker, you're not going to get that. You're manifesting negativity around your body. But if I got that lottery ticket, I'm like, come on, baby. Come on, you know we need this. You know we need this. Yeah, you may not win, but your mood is built. Your way of thinking is built. Your energy has shifted into a positivity. Now, granted, you may lose statistically, but you're like, oh, fuck, I lost. All right, maybe next week. But then if you're like, I'm never going to win, you're not going to go buy that lottery ticket.
And you're never going to give yourself a chance or opportunity to
and you're going to
possibly
always
win.
Live in what if. And
I don't know if I like that for anyone.
No. I lived in what if one time. It was a very, very bad place. Don't live in what if, because that negates who you are in your future. And you limits you to who you are and what you want to do. TED Talk 2026.
Tell me, this is technically our first time meeting in the flesh.
Yes, this is our first time in the flesh, but I've known you for a little bit on social media.
Indeed. Tell me about your story. Tell me anything and everything you want to about who you are, who you were, where you're going,
Well,
anything.
That is an enigma inside of Pandora's box. Let me go ahead and open that up.
Honestly, I feel that one. I feel that one.
I mean, I'm a pretty simplified guy. I don't really have a complicated story. I was raised up to be the best who I can be. I had an amazing mother that was an educator. She was smart. And she taught me to believe in myself and believe when I wanted and be passionate in the things I wanted. And with her and her guidance, she created me and my ambition. And I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be a storm chaser when I was a kid. I wanted to be a police officer. I wanted to change the world. I wanted to work in an oil rig because I saw a movie about it one time. Like, I wanted to be a paramedic. And I ended up settling after being pushed into the Army. I became a combat medic in the Army, served 12 years and 8 months. I probably would have made a career, but unfortunately I got injured in deployment, and the United States Army thought I was no longer use to them anymore and sent me home. And that was the altar of my life, and that's where I really dug down and deep and tried to find who I was, because I thought I was a soldier. I thought that was my life, to serve, protect. And when that was taken away from me and the people I thought were my family were not my family anymore, it changed my perspectives. And I had to redefine myself again, and I found cannabis. And once I became a cannabis advocate, I started my own CBD company called D Treats. It was one of the most successful CBD companies in Arizona. Me and my mother created it together. My mother had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and my goal was to try to save her life. And that's what I did. I went to Colorado. I went to different seminars and certification companies learning about terpenes, the endocannabinoid system, to come home and try to take care of her. And unfortunately, her body was just too weak, and we lost her 2 years ago. But the mission is still the same. And I met my wife at the time, and she was my girlfriend, and she has been struggling with the tumor in her head all her life. And a couple years ago, we had a scare to where the cancer wave came back. And I built a bond with her. I fell in love with her. I married her. And I felt my next mission was to take care and save her. And that's exactly what I did. I promised my mother, because my mother loved her. And that's what I've been doing. I feel like it's my obligation and goal to try to save the people that I care about. And that's what made me the human being I am today. The knowledge, the education, the compassion that I have. I care more than most people because I need to.
That is, wow. First of all, my sincerest and deepest condolences on your mom.
Thank you.
I lost my father to calling him father feels disingenuous. He was my daddy. I lost him to cancer in 2011. So
fuck cancer.
Absolutely. Fuck cancer and fuck big pharma, because they are the people who keep our families and our people sick.
Yeah, they're brother and sister.
Yeah.
So
Thank you for doing God's work.
I don't know, it's God's work. I feel that I'm doing the work that I was meant to do.
It's powerful work, and God is the most powerful. Well, I call it universe, but a lot of people would call it God. It's bigger than humans, and what you're doing is really incredible. The fact that you are putting your energy and your life into taking care of people, that is...
I'm a mama's boy.
That's
and
incredible.
Anytime I ever feel like I'm doubting myself, I'd ask what my mom would do, or what my mom would say to me. And that has been my success and path, is my mother. And I had to reimagine myself. I lost my company, D Treats, a couple years back because the industry was horrible and they made outlandish lies and insinuations because I was becoming a big thing really fast, and it scared a lot of people. Mm. So I had to let go of something I built with my mother because mentally they were killing me. A year ago, I've been in the industry. I've been behind the scenes working for different brands, creating products that people consume, working for different brands, doing their R&D in their kitchens and stuff like that. And a year ago, my wife was just like, you work for everybody else and you do amazing things. When's it going to be time for you to do it again for you? And my wife had a dream of always having a cannabis company. And one day we were just sitting there talking, and she was just like, we should do events. You cater to your friends. You do awesome events for your friends and hang out. Why can't we get paid for that? And I was just like, because of the bullshit and how hard it is. And she was like, but you have me now. And I was like, you're right. Last time I didn't have anybody. It was just me.
Wow.
And with her love and her support and her guidance, she gave me the ability to believe in myself again. And not only did we create SC Cannabis, we are being told that we are one of the most exclusive #1 cannabis experience event companies in Arizona. And I was offered an equity licensing to bring back my old company, D Treats, and actually make product again, and at actual dispensary level. So those are my goals for the next 6 months, is to bring back something I built with my mother. And that will live, she will live through that vicariously. And then I'm in the middle of building a 501(c) nonprofit to help support people that have all types of cancer that don't have the support of unity and community. That was one thing my mother didn't have. So we're going to be building a nonprofit organization as we build, and it's going to help anybody that needs help with cancer. You don't need to have a specific cancer. You just need help and support and love. And that's what my mother wanted, and that's what my mother would want for anybody that would be part of the Kim Foundation. That was my mom's name. Her name was Kim.
That's incredible. And I know my podcast and my platform are still in its baby stages, if not in vitro stages. I had Nirvana's album flash through my mind when I said that. But if I can give you any support to talk about all of that or promote it even, I would love to give you the space to do so, because what you're doing is incredible. I mean that. I seriously mean that. And I do believe it takes a village. I believe people are better together. So let me work with me if I can. I'll work with you.
100%. Oh no, we got big plans.
Okay,
I'm gonna bring you out into the world, and we're going to let people see what you are a little bit. I have a bigger spread than you, and I can get you into where you need to go to make you spread your wings and be successful.
I appreciate that.
And we have people. I only work with good people. All the people that are in my group and in my network are all vetted, and they're about community. They're about the bigger change, the bigger optimistic things. And I think you'll fit just right in there.
I know for a fact that we need to be making some changes to be protecting our people.
100%.
And you are still protecting and serving people, just not quite in the same way you thought you were back in the day.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm still serving my community, just at a educational level.
And also with your love. You have a lot of love that radiates off of you.
I do. And sometimes, it's a double-edged sword. Too much love can reverse and bite you in the ass.
Yeah. Is that the similar to what I call the doormat effect?
Yeah.
I might know something about that.
#doormat.
But that's okay, Here, let me open the door to my life, and I'll lay down and
just go ahead and stomp on me. Just make sure you don't get my nuts.
Yeah. Not the face, because I might need that.
They don't care. They just...
Yeah, that's fair. I really do mean that, though. Like, as I said, anything I can do to support what you're doing in your mission.
100%.
I love supporting people's missions that I believe in, and we share very similar views to cancer and to corporations and society at large.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
I want to thank you again for being on this show.
Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity to really just, let your hair out, just let it air out, blow out, and just, it's great to speak on podcasts because I feel it's emotional therapy. It's a form of emotional therapy because people are asking you who you are, and that's your way of talking and voicing. That's therapy. You're like, man, I feel good now. All right, I'm going to smoke a joint.
Let's see. So have you been on many podcasts?
I have been on quite a few. A matter of fact, I used to own my own professional corporate podcast show called the Stone Age Podcast.
That
4
sounds
years
familiar.
ago. Yeah, that was me. I was the host. We were the biggest one in Arizona. We used to do phone calls, and we had celebrities come in, and we did it for a year. It was great, but unfortunately, projects change, things get expensive, you lose funding. And we had to move on. But I do have quite a bit of experience on podcasts and just understanding that it is a great platform to just immerse yourself and be you without trying to be anyone else. And like you were saying, it's just like a lot of people in this industry have a character, a mask on, all right, of someone who they're not. And I feel that podcasts are a great outlet to just be you.
All awkward and weird versions of you.
Back in the podcast days, we didn't have cameras. So it was just literally audio.
Radio show.
So like literally you can be like, an ogre and be like, hey, I'm me, and just go through it all day. But now as we've grown, it's now an audio video kind of, it's a whole show. So now you get to be who you are. You get to act. You get to amplify you, and people can visually see that. So now they resonate and they encompass, well, damn, he sounds good on the radio and he's doing funny shit on the radio. You know what? I'm going to follow him. And that's how we build it. And you got to learn that life is not so serious. And if you take it with grace, have fun with it, enjoy the people that encompass in your life, good, bad, and indifferent, because it's all a learning experience. And if people come in your life like you, and other people that have come and encompass that have great energy and great light and great research, you take that and you grab it, you encompass it, you smother it, and you bring it to you, because you know why? It's very hard to find people that match the same thing in the ideologies and the spiritual and metaphysical, all that crap all above to really encompass. And when you want to, you keep them close to your circle, because this world is, well, it's a shit show.
How do you handle that when you view yourself as more an independent soloist person? Because I love people, I really do, but I also really like the idea of a cave in the middle of nowhere with no communication.
Introvert.
I'm actually more of an ambivert.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah. All right. Well, I would say the best way to channel and work that is that how bad do you want to break out of your shell? Internally, how comfortable are you right now in what you're doing, or how comfortable are you in wanting to change something? So it is an internal psych out. So you have to sit to yourself like, okay, well, I know I'm good here, but I do want to try different things, but I know I can't because of my mental block. So how do you break through mental blocks? You have to literally trick your brain into either ensuing what you want to try, or at least give it an opportunity to question it yourself. Because when you start questioning yourself, then your brain and the chemistry starts to change in your brain, which is giving you more options to think more.
Okay.
So it's just understanding who you want. What do you want, hon? Like, if you want to try something new and you're too scared to try it, well, then baby step it. Work it through your brain. If I try and it doesn't work, I can go back to the same thing I'm doing. If I try and I like it, then I can slowly try it. If I try, I really like it, I'm just going to jump to that. You bring the level
scaling
of life,
it and balancing
scaling
it.
in it, and you're bringing it to yourself to make it more palatable.
I think as we were talking about this, I kind of answered my own question. My individuality and alone time will come, but as many of my friends have put it through my life, and it only took the last 5 years for me to really accept it, I am a social butterfly. I love people. Yeah. I love people way too much sometimes. I really do.
I love hugging. Like,
I'm a hugger too.
I'm a fucking hugger. Like,
it felt
hi,
weird.
How are you?
It felt weird not hugging you when you first walked through that door. I was like, should I give this person a hug right now?
Hug,
Wait, shake, hug. What should I do?
Do that weird jerk.
What are the social the social acceptances right here, right now?
Rules?
Wait, are there any rules?
I don't know.
I don't either.
But yeah, like I'm a PC friendly guy. You know, like I want people to feel my energy. You know, I'm not going to sit there and make out with you, but like I'll give you a abrasive hug, because sometimes, and this is real shit, sometimes people just need a hug. They won't tell you, they won't show in it, but sometimes after, just be like, hey man, it's good seeing you. You can just see the difference of their body, their stature, their energy, and how they redeflect the whole day because someone actually gave a shit to give them energy.
Give them an embrace. Give them some love.
And that's it. People are all about themselves. And you know what? The people in my life have showed me that you got to stop being about yourself and just be a little bit about others. Then you can be about yourself too, because as they embrace you, then you can embrace yourself better.
You
feel more worth.
It's kind of, I use this analogy now, but I've never really finished it out loud. You need to be able to fill into your own cup, right? But the problem is people don't realize that by also pouring into other cups, eventually there'll be a return. So like there's a hidden secret cup above you.
Giant waterfall.
Yeah. And you have to figure out, all right, where is it coming from? Where's that cup coming from? Ah, there's the waterfall. Pours it into you, and then you can pour it into them, and then it's like a weird reservoir or like a fish tank in a way. We might be in some form of a fish tank.
Yeah, we're all floating.
Floating, sometimes on turbulent waters. Sometimes we need to throw out a life raft or two.
Ain't that the truth?
Which is why I think people are better together. As much as I am an independent person, like, independent people still need people.
Right.
I'm going to need to figure out how to get to the middle of nowhere in the cave in the woods. I can't exactly do that by myself.
No, you're going to need help.
Yeah.
You'll get lost.
Yeah, and, you know, someone's going to probably want to know where I'm at.
And to be really honest and transparent, who wants to be alone these days?
True.
Yes, loneliness, independency and being on your own is one thing, but being alone and lonely is a whole
two different
things. All right? I love embrace. I love when someone hugs me or gives me a kiss and tells me that they care about me or shows me affection, shows me something. Why? Because I'm a human being that feeds on that. And if I don't feel
You're not
that,
a machine.
Right. I feel less. You know, do not deserve it. Wasn't wanted for it. You know? And that's the thing, is that embrace the energy. We only know that we live on this earth once. Why deny yourself the things that you should be able to have and love for your human body, for your soul to feel completed, if you're not going to give it to yourself? And what's the point of living? What's the point of doing things? Not to work, not to sit here and be complicit. No. We were brought on this earth so we can experience who we are our way.
I love that you said that. I love that you said that so much. Man, I have so many talking points just because of this conversation right now.
Go for it. Open door. See.
This one's a good one.
Go for it.
So, my mother figure. I had to go no contact with some of my family, unfortunately. It bothers me. I think about it all the time because though they didn't really love me in a healthy and good way, if they even loved me at all, I love them. And I recognize that, and that's why it hurts me that we can't be in contact, because there's love for me there. I love them, you know. I miss them. I do have good memories with them. They taught me a lot of things. And that's like why I'm so dead set on trying to spread love and like be as much of myself as I possibly can be, because the world does need more love.
Mm-hmm.
I once had someone tell me, they were talking, complaining about their friends, and they were like, oh, well, they just need more love in their life. They said that word for word. These people need more love in their life, and they weren't giving it to them. They were complaining about them and being dismissive and rude with them. And
we call those hypocrites.
And I was like, you literally just said these humans need more love. Why aren't you giving it to them?
Because it's not their problem.
Well, you identified the problem.
Right. See, that's what people are. They want to identify and point fingers, but they don't want to do the work.
And that ate away at me. That kind of lit a little bit of a fire in me, and I'm going to remember that moment for the rest of my life, because I'm like, that can't be me. I can't do that. I can't be like, those people need more love. La 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 la. Like, those people need love. Hey, come here. Hey, why don't you come over for a game night?
Right.
Hey, I'm having this event for Friendsgiving. This is my second year doing it. Here's a flyer. Like, come over.
Right.
You don't have to bring anything. Just yourself is fine, but it is a potluck. So if you want to buy something from the gas station down the road, like, by all means. Like, you do you. Right. Be you, you know? But to kind of, like, go off of all of that, like, that's why, like, even though I myself, I like doing things myself. I don't always like asking for help. Part of that is a survival and a trauma tactic, I know. But at the same time, like, I know, I objectively know that that's not always healthy, because people are better together. We are a tribal type of species. Right. We are not solitary machines. Mm-hmm. We need that symbiosis, or is that the right word?
Symbiotic?
Yes, that symbiotic nature, because I feel like our first problem, or there's a lot of first problems, but one of our problems is we think of things as parasitic. Mm-hmm. And they can be if we frame it that way.
Right.
But if we're open and we're questioning and we're curious, maybe things won't be so bad. Oh, there it is. Thank you, brain. You finally remembered what I was going to say, bringing up my family. My mother figure taught me that we're brought here on earth to experience life as a human. We aren't rocks. We aren't machines. We aren't that weight on the ground. We aren't cats. We are here to experience what being a human is. That whether you believe in God or the universe or a higher power or not, whatever created us and made us, selected. We are here to experience ourselves as the human condition. And I really do believe that. Like, I love that, as I said, what you had to say there, because, like, yeah, when you really break it down, it makes total sense. What else would we be here to do? Mm-hmm. Work 24/7 for big corporate? No. Scream and yell at each other and hate each other and be angry all the time? No. Does that feel very good? I don't think so. I've been an angry person before. That didn't feel very good. As a matter of fact, that lethargy we were talking about, I felt a lot of that, and that didn't feel good. That felt, instead of grounded, it felt sunk.
Fake chaotic.
There is a healthy chaos.
Oh, trust me, I thrive in it.
Yeah, but same. But there is also a negative chaos. Duality and polarity are two words I use a lot, because those exist. Very as above, words. So below. Mm-hmm. You know, yin and yang. Yin and yang is something I kind of try to keep to my mind a little bit, because here's a phrase for you, and I use it sometimes on the show. How would you know positivity without negativity? If everything was always positive all the time, how would you know that that's a good thing? How would you know to take that on? You need it.
That's the thing, is that good and evil, light and dark, yin and yang, all these, you know, like you said, it encompasses who we need as a balance. You need left to right, positive to negative. These things are something that in nature need to combine and have an equilibrium of in order to make us who we are.
The shadow self and the light self.
Peter Pan and his shadow.
Peter Pan's shadow was a bit of an ass, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly. It was based on the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde theme.
Ah.
Okay, having two versions of himself. Peter Pan was the young lost boy, but his shadow was the rambunctious little boy that would just not listen, do everything against the rules of human. I mean, Peter Pan was growing up to be a man. Mm-hmm. That's why he was very Peter Pan, like, I'm me, I do Captain Hook, blah blah blah. But the real message was that Peter Pan was living a duality of life. He was two separate people. He was a boy becoming a man, and Peter Pan inside from Neverland was the little boy that never wanted to grow up. And we all have a little Peter Pan inside of us. We all have that internal little boy, little girl inside of us that will never grow up, that wants to still be, watch cartoons and, play with the toys. And right? Like I'm a video game junkie. Like when I'm not working, I love playing my games. Especially it's a great bonding thing for my kids because they play games too. So we can we play board games. Like we haven't done it lately, but we used to do every weekend. We'd have board game weekend or night, where the family comes together and we just go ham. It's just the things like that. Like I like family, and hasn't felt so much family since my mom has passed away, but I'm trying to make that feel again, because when I feel I'm around people, I feel whole. I feel my most peak of a human being. I feel that I'm at my best when I'm around good people.
I hate talking about myself sometimes, but it's needed.
Why not? You should be able to. You have a fascinating life.
It's a weird ego pride thing. I don't like sounding like prideful. I don't sounding like I'm an egomaniac, because that's where it comes down to language and how you use your words.
I don't think it's egotistical. I think it's survivorship. It's
ownership of self.
Yes, 100%. It's owning what you've gone through and what you've accomplished thus far. Remember, all the things that you've done in your life past your post-trauma have been milestones for you and accomplishments. Doesn't matter if it's getting up and brushing your hair, or taking a shower, or going to get a job, or going to see a friend. These are many accomplishments that progressed you to be a stronger human being, to find yourself and analyze what really matters to you as a human being while you take breath on this earth. What is it going to do for you? At the end of the day, when you're at the pearly gates and God asks you, did you live your life?
Or did you live someone else's life for
100%.
you? I guess on that note then, one of my taglines for the Digital Quill is time. It's teach, inspire, motivate, and entertain.
Ooh,
and at one point, I was like, wait a minute. Because the full phrase is, hi, like, let me teach, inspire, motivate, or at the very least, and probably the easiest, entertain you. Because everyone wants to be entertained, right? I mean, we wouldn't have cinema or books or comics, or video games. But the hardest thing to do is to teach people, because some people don't want to be taught. Some people don't know that they want to be taught. I fall into those categories sometimes. But the other thing is that I started that phrase, I think, in 2022.
Okay.
And then I think it was last year, maybe a year after I had started that phrase, I was like, wait a minute. This is me giving my time to people. What about myself? Where am I taking into account, like, my timeline, my tag?
Right.
And I'm like, okay, well, by teaching, inspiring, and motivating people, they're also giving me the ability to travel. I haven't done a lot of traveling, but I have done some. Okay. I'd like to do more at some point. I get to meet and make things with people. Like, I get to make the show with you right now. And I get to meet you. Right. I get to experience you and explore with you. Like, the kind of conversations we've had, I mean, I could have by myself and talk to myself till I'm blue in the face, but what fun is that?
None.
Like, I mean, I could think for myself, yeah, sure, but, like, you've given me a lot of points already to, like, ponder and be like, wait a minute, that's a new perspective I didn't think of. Wow. Like, so there's teach, inspire, motivate, and entertain. But then there's travel, investigate, meet and make, explore, and experience. That is the full time of let me give you my time.
You're good with acronyms. You should start making t-shirts.
When I was writing poetry, I did that too. I love writing poetry. That was like the first thing I started doing before I started writing little short stories.
I was an OG of haikus.
I love haikus. My favorite format besides haikus and prose and free verse is acrostic poems.
Oh, okay.
That's actually kind of why time even exists, is because I love acronyms. I love a good acronym. If it makes sense and you can like understand it and it's rememberable, it's like, oh yeah, time.
You would have loved the military then. Acronyms are like all they live on.
I wanted to join the military and I kept wanting to join the military, but mostly it was an escape. And I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because
it's the wrong time to do it now.
Yeah, it is. And at 18, almost 10 years ago, it would have also been the wrong time. I'm a little like, I'm 15 to 20 years a little late on joining the military in a good way, I think, maybe.
So like the cutoff date is 40 for the Navy and 38 for the Army and 35 for the Marines.
Did they raise those?
Yes, they did.
When?
A year ago. Why? Because we are losing force mass in our branches of service.
Wow. Because
of what's going on in the world. So their enlistment rates have gone down, not to mention we are on the verge of World War III. We have activated pretty much 40% of our active duty to where all the active theaters are, which is the Middle East. And not to mention we have our United States Navy fleet on the coast of Venezuela. We're about to go to war with Venezuela.
Not Venezuela.
Yeah.
Oh my fucking God.
Well, because of the cartel stuff. Their president's corrupt and he backs the cartel. I mean, to be honest, I don't agree with a lot what Donald Trump does, but there are some things that are forcibly being done that I think that should have been done a long time ago. I don't agree with any of the policies, what's going on with him presently, and that's the reason why our country is in a dysfunctional state. And until we get that changed, things are going to be unraveling. I mean, we are still in a government shutdown, the world's
longest one so far
in human history. The Roman Empire was collapsed and rebuilt quicker than what we're doing here.
Yeah.
And that says something, because the Roman Empire fell a couple times.
In like less than 100 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Ma'am. Alexander the Great, Cleopatra, yep. Caesar the 5th, Caesar the 10th. The ideology, ironically, that was like the Protestants, the 100-Year War. I
wanted to join mostly to escape my family situation, but also because I like the idea of protecting and serving.
Yeah, I thought that too. It really... the protecting and serving part, to be very transparent with you, is already there and embedded. But when you do your day-to-day job, it's not really protecting and serving unless you're in a combat element. When you're in a combat element, you are on the front lines. You are digging into the shit. You are protecting. You're always on ready. But on an operational standpoint, people that do everyday military jobs, it's just a military job.
It's just like
it's a 9 to 5. You're wearing a uniform and you are being mandated by a set group of people, authoritarians.
Lovely.
And that's what it is. Now, the brotherhood and the camaraderie of the military is one thing that I miss. And everybody misses, is that we are meant and we are bred and molded to be a brotherhood. We have each other's backs. We eat, shit, and sleep and love each other, hate each other.
Do you still, or sorry to cut you off, do you still have contact with any of your brothers?
I do. So I have some. Majority of the boys that I served with are either no longer with us due to passing away. Some from combat and others from post-combat effects, alcoholism, overdosing on drugs and stuff like that. Lost a friend to suicide. He just couldn't take it anymore. I do have a handful of people I still converse and talk with, but over the years, you know, you live your life, you grow, you move on, you start families. Majority of them live in other states. So it sucks, but it's the brotherhood and camaraderie. When you see other veterans and stuff like that, you go to the VFW Veterans Day Parade, stuff like that, you feel that because you're like, where'd you serve? You served? We're like, cool, thank you for your service, bro. You know, that brotherhood is still there no matter what. It can be a 50-year-old, a 70-year-old, a 40-year-old, even someone that's still serving. We all have that respect for each other, especially older veterans, other veterans that served like Desert Storm, Vietnam, Korea. I don't think there's any too much left of World War II, but these gentlemen are pioneers, and they are the fortitude of what a veteran is. They give out the most love and respect. So, yeah, no, that's other than that. I mean, I talk to vets and stuff all day, but anyone that I served with is living their own lives.
That actually brings up a couple of good questions I have that I don't really get a lot of opportunities to ask. Sure. I do know some other friends of mine who are combat veterans and stuff like that. Just for sake of not naming names, because I'm not sure I'm allowed to at the moment, but I know that they also go through their own suicidal ideations and stuff like that.
We all do.
How would I best support them besides just being there and giving them an ear? Like, in those situations, what do I say? What do I do to help them, to maybe save them from that darkness?
Show them what's worth living for. If these people are close to you and you're in a state of trying to save them, use key points that you know that would keep them want to be there. If they have children, use that. They have a wife, use that. They got a family, use that. You use things to show them, because right now they're closed-minded. They're tunnel vision. We've all been there.
I've definitely been there.
One direct mind. No, it's not anything else. It's what I'm thinking. No one else understands me. No one's listening. No one cares. And you fucking sabotage yourself. Where the help comes is where someone can penetrate that. And the only way to penetrate that when you're so blocked is to use shit that really works. Like for me, when I got into my suicidal attempts, it was my son. Having my friend look at him. I had his picture on my phone. Look at his fucking picture. Look at him.
Look at that little boy right now.
Do you want to not be there for his first day of school? His first girlfriend? When he gets his first beard and needs to shave? Talk about girls, basketball games, camp outs. You want to see him when he doesn't get married? You want to miss all that because you're in your fucking feelings right now? Because you can't understand and digress and differentiate what reality is and what your brain's trying to trick you in?
Okay.
It takes real penetration and work to get to people. There's a very rare part where sometimes you just can't get to them. They're so far gone. But what you can do is seek help. Call 911. Call the mental health hotline for their veterans. Okay? Get a crisis team out here. You get people that have the tools and ability to either treat, medicate, facilitate, detain.
Anything that helps.
To get them to a safer place. And that's the best thing I could ever say, is that you show them compassion, you show them love. Never show them any ambiguity or anger, because you're just adding to the fire. Empathy is going to be your tool. Understanding and being there. Sometimes you just need to fucking hold somebody. I wish somebody was there for me. And I had a brother. He didn't hug me or anything, but he did not leave my side until I was right in my head. And when you get right in your head, it may take hours, sometimes it takes days. But when you start to actually see it, you're like, what the fuck did I almost do to myself? And it's scary because you were literally at a crossing point of never coming back. And you can't take that away. And when you start to really process that, it is the most scariest thing. And it's emotional, and it comes overwhelming in emotion because you just almost took yourself away from this world for no reason. And you would have damaged the people that you love the most for life.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sorry that
don't be sorry. This is a great platform to really people to have a true deep understanding and true emotions and feelings. I mean, if you can't get any better than this than actually paying your doctor to take you to a psych eval, this is free and this is real and this is uninhibited and unscripted. This is core emotions.
It's part of being human.
Part of being human.
That's why I like asking saying I like asking the hard questions makes me sound like a sadist. It's why I appreciate the value of asking hard questions, because life is hard. What can go on in here? For different reasons, I'm not a combat veteran, but I've tried taking my life 3 times in my life. It's been some time since I've done that, and I think about the person I was back then, and I'm like, if my attempts had worked, I would not have any of this now.
No, you wouldn't have.
I wouldn't have been able to help some of my friends who are going through their own shit. I've had friends tell me, like, Mars, what you're doing inspires me. Like, I feel motivated now, and I feel weird when they're telling me that, because I'm not great at taking compliments.
You're touching people. You don't even see it, and that's the thing.
But that's all I want. That's all fucking 6-year-old Mars wanted, was to make people smile and to love life and to feel good in their bodies and their minds. And
you're doing it.
If I had taken myself out of this story,
a lot of people would be unhappy right now.
I would have lost more people at this point than I have in my life if I had taken myself out sooner. And I'm glad that I didn't, because now my friends get to have kids. Now my friends get to write their story and keep with their story. And god damn it, I hope you guys continue. Like, I know I say this at the end of every episode, and this is a bit premature, but keep fucking going. Do not stop for fucking nothing, because holy shit, y'all are powerhouses out there.
Amen. Amen. And just a little note, you should be telling that to yourself as well. Understand that the impact that you've made with the people that are in your life, you've made a nominal impact. Hell, we've been friends for a little bit, and you made an impact on me. Henceforth, while I'm here, you are doing good things as well.
Thank you.
Give yourself a pat on the shoulder sometimes, because sometimes, and I know it because I'm guilty of it too, we don't give the credit that is owed to us.
I am definitely getting better at that. 20-year-old me would be like, wow, you give yourself a lot more credit. Maybe I should. But here I am at 27. Yeah, 27.
I think so.
It's a number on a calendar.
Well, you're doing amazing. And your message is loud, and it's ambient, and it's powerful. And as long as you have that message, this, my dear, is going to go anywhere you want it to go.
I should ask this because I've asked you 100 million questions. Do you have any questions for me?
No, I mean, pretty straightforward. I don't think I have any questions. I mean, you as a whole, I understand what you're trying to do, your mission and your whole voice. So I know we need to ask about that. Wow, I do have one. Here we go. Where do you see yourself in 12 months?
That's a different question than where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, 5 years is too far away.
That's true.
Things can always happen and change, but 12 months is very, very reality. That's a hop, skip, and a jump. Where do you want to see yourself in 12 months?
That's a good question. I've actually been kind of thinking about that because we're reaching the end of the year. It's November now.
Yes, ma'am.
And I always start to kind of compartmentalize like the year past and the year going forward, because last year I started this thing where I don't like doing New Year's resolutions. I do New Year's goals. So like, what am I trying to accomplish this next year?
Okay.
The first time I started that was last year. And the first goal I really set for myself was I need to be a better advocate for myself. I need to be sure of what I want and stand firm in, hey, this is what I said I want. I'm doing this. Ask questions, comments, and concerns later. We're going full force.
Right.
I feel like I've done a really damn good job for only being a year into that practice of doing that. Mm-hmm. I want to keep at that for the next year and just keep that momentum going for that self-advocacy, that self-agency.
That freedom.
Yeah. The other goal I had was to kind of figure out how to be free without a car, because I don't really have the financial stability at the moment to have a vehicle again. I had one for almost 6 months of my life before I was in an accident with someone going 65 and a 35. It was a little heartbreaking because that truck belonged to my dad.
I'm sorry.
So it was more of a mental loss than a physical loss for me. And still kind of working on that mentality a little bit, because it's still fresh. That was 22, I think. 21 or 22. My years are messed up. But in a year from now. So I finally decided a while ago, I was a little kid when I decided that I wanted to make writing and public speaking and like my creative projects my career. I finally have my first book idea and like concept and planned out. I was actually working on it a little bit last night before I fell asleep. I know I said I would have it out this year. That's my fault. I gave myself deadlines knowing full well that I wasn't going to meet those. But the other thing that I gave myself, the super secret thing, is I knew I needed to live more life. I haven't lived a lot of life for someone being in their late 20s. And I knew that living more life would give me the confidence I need, the experience I need to finish my first debut novel. It's a truth turned fiction.
Okay.
It's called 21 Days Gone. And it's kind of knowing my story and knowing how as a child I used to be kind of stuck in it and everything. And through all of the therapy and the fact that writing is healing, especially to myself, who is a writer. Like, there is no freaking question about me being a writer. Imposter syndrome be damned. But I think I would like to see myself finish that book by November of next year, because I might actually now be at a place where I can finally write it chapter by chapter and have it ready to go for publish and print.
I love me a good read, so you let me know.
I appreciate that. I don't want to give myself another timeline or another deadline, because let's be honest, boundary pushing, I'm probably going to be like, yeah, whatever, time, what is that? But at the same time, like, the goal I set for myself to live life, to be able to write this book.
Right.
I've done a lot more of that, and I know 2026 is another year set up for me to live more life, because I choose that. I choose that for myself. I choose wanting to make my events even if only 2 people show up. I choose to go out and do things even if my social anxiety is like, but the people are gonna bite you. Maybe I like being bitten. So what? Yeah, like, so what? I don't know. It's like, so a year from now, I'm going to have a book in front of me, and it's going to be my first book.
I believe you.
A year from now, I'd like to see a stronger me, even just physically. Like, I've been trying to work on bulking up. Like, I now have forearm muscles.
Hey,
I didn't have that before.
I'm gonna put those away. Those are dangerous.
I now have a little bit of pectoral muscles. Didn't really have those before. And I'm like, ooh, what other muscles can I get on and in my body?
Gluteus maximus.
Yes, I need more of those muscles. I'd like to be able to crush a watermelon with my thighs if I can.
Damn, girl. All right.
It would be interesting.
Beware to all men.
Yeah. I mean, gotta be able to crush the skulls of my enemies, right? Oh, you try to pull one on me? All right, well,
I'll give you my pudding.
But is that from a movie?
South Park.
South Park. Okay. What episode?
I believe it was like season 8. I'm not going to quote it.
Okay. But yeah, a year from now, a stronger physical version of myself, and I can see, like, just, it feels right to say that 21 Days Gone is going to be in front of me in print, because this year really has been a test of myself to myself. I put myself through the ringer. I started this show in March. After talking about, hey, maybe I'll do a podcast like for the last 2 years, because I started the blog.
I remember that post, actually, when you went on Facebook. You're like, I think we do a podcast. I'm not too sure, but I don't know, maybe. You'll see. I don't know. Bye.
And yeah, I finally did the goddamn thing. I was one day I was like, I'll start it in the spring. I mean, because I had talked myself through it. I'd worked myself through it. I was like, Mars, you've been doing the blogging thing. You've been really, you've been happy with the writing. You've been writing again. That's awesome. You love writing. But you love speaking too. And I don't think TikTok is the only place you can speak. Mm-mm. And Things Beyond Sound, Spencer over there, he started his own podcast, and granted, in my personal opinion, could he have more guests on and be doing more with it? Yeah. But we all have our issues. We all have our own paths. I can't be too nitpicky about that, because it's not my show, It
takes time and progression.
I just like seeing people do things.
Right.
That's my big thing. You're doing a thing, keep doing the thing. It looked like you were having fun. It gives me motivation to do my things too, because watching people do human things, like my TikTok bio says, just a human doing human things. Well, I like it. I like humans who do human things. Like, do your podcasts, right. Do your Twitch streaming and your TikToking and your social media posting.
Do all your crunking and your booty whapping and all that.
Yeah, like make your story awesome, and
content is the new way of life.
It's the digital age.
I mean, anywhere from good content to bad content to even spicy content. I have a million people, a million friends that all have OnlyFans. Like, it is like the new normal of life now. It's just like, hey, you want my OnlyFans? Like, nah, I'm good, bro. Let's keep it profesh just a minute.
just for a little bit.
But it's the new norm. I'm just saying that it's just content is just a normalized thing now. It doesn't matter what it is. Take a picture, take a selfie, do a blog.
Write a book. There are so many book authors now, and I definitely have some gripes about some writing out there. Some of you need to maybe not use AI so much, but at the same time, I understand it's a new technology. We just need to learn how to use it ethically.
100%.
In a way that actually benefits and helps prosper humanity.
Well, yeah, right now people are just trying to make money. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm for it.
Like, by all means, we live in a capitalistic hellscape.
Make your money, boo-boo. If you got something to shake, shake it. If it's feeding the fucking family...
Who am I to judge?
Right. Like, I mean, the only time I ever get, like, just when they start pushing it on me. Like, okay, yeah, cool, I've seen naked people. You see one naked person, you see a million naked people. Like, cool. You got boobs, too? All right.
So, you throw a rock and you'll hit someone with boobs.
Right. And it's just, like, a lot of time in this industry, because what we work in, it's a very sexualized industry. So sex sells and marijuana. And a lot of our people in this industry use that as a currency tool or a way to get into things or to get leverage or whatever.
Well,
I mean, like, cool. If you want to like, just don't use it on me and try to like
push it down my throat.
Watch it. You need to like it. You want one of my private videos? Like, no. I can just, if I want that, I'm gonna go to Pornhub.
Yeah. I have so many thoughts. One of the thoughts I want to say is this. I used to be a lot more against like sex work and stripping and stuff like that. But then one day I was like, all right, well, now why would a young girl want to do this? Capitalistic hellscape. I mean, survival.
Some of them just like doing it.
Some of them just enjoy doing it because they have a body. They look damn good with their body. Like freedom and free will are both beautiful things and also terrifying things.
100%. I am totally 100% with it. If you have a beautiful body and you want to show it, I support that. Just,
don't force me to watch it if I don't consent to it. Don't send unsolicited
just don't
videos.
send it to my inbox to where I click on it and it's like, whoa, how you doing? I'm in a school right now with all this.
Yeah, maybe ask for permission first. The little bit of decorum, a little bit of.
Hey, do you want to? You know what? Yeah, go ahead, send it to me. I don't mind. I'll take a gander. But like, look at my shit.
Like, thank you, but I think I'll pass.
I used to be a horrible person back in the day. I had a picture. Anytime someone wanted to be inappropriate with me, I would send them a picture of a guy's butthole.
I see.
And they'd be like, quit being that.
I don't think I've ever...
it was a in-depth picture of a guy spreading his butt cheeks and just... Oh. You saw his pink eye.
Oh. Wow.
And literally, I just put on top of it, quit being an asshole. It worked. It was a play on words.
I really like that approach. That is not the approach I would do. I would just delete message and, oh, look at that. We're never speaking again.
No, pretty much. I think they're expecting probably a picture back or something like that. So I was like, oh, you want a picture? I'll give you a picture.
Don't ever send one of these again. Otherwise, you'll get the exact same one, except it'll be worse.
Right? Like, I know your mother. I'm going to get her butthole picture.
I'll send a picture of your mom's butt. Like, I'm sure you'll love that.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. I just have fun with it. I really do.
It's about the only way you can deal with it.
Can't take it serious. Sometimes I'll even look at it and I'll be like, look, babe, look what I just got sent. And she'll be like, oh, wow. All right. Can I get her number? I'm like, shut up.
Fine.
Right? Just record things, okay?
just go do your job.
But I live a really crazy life, but I wouldn't change it. It's a great experience. I live my day knowing different things and experiencing different things and meeting different people, and sometimes it's not cool and grand, but that's life for you. But majority of it, I love what I do.
I like that. I like that a lot. I feel like that's so The Human Condition. I've never actually read that book. I think it is an actual book, but I live the experience of the human condition. I almost kind of feel like at some point I'll read the book, but
You're living the book. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So why do I really need to read the book if I can conversate and talk to other people who are also...
It's like a double entendre.
Yeah, there are better books I could be reading. So with that being said on the human condition point and everything, that is one of my biggest goals when learning to conversate with people is I don't really like having enemies. I don't believe in enemies. I think having enemies is stupid. What do you mean you're my enemy? What? Are we gonna fight right now? No, man, come on. I believe in friends. I believe the oldest quote I ever created, and I have a friend who is gonna have known me 10 years this January.
Wow.
They can quote me on this one. Back in high school, I said, I'm a friend to all and enemy to none. And the reason I say that is I understand the need for friends. I didn't have a lot of those as a kid because when you went through what I went through, having the...
Makes you super antisocial.
Yeah. And also people aren't having the same conversations I was as a child. I was wanting to talk about theology and philosophy and where we came from and why we have these things happen to us, and maybe more slightly inappropriate conversations for a 6-year-old to be having. But I was exposed to things at a young age that had me asking questions that other 6-year-olds weren't. Right. Other 6-year-olds were like, yay, let's go play on the playground. Do you guys know where babies come from?
I mean, you were just informative. You just wanted to know more.
Mm-hmm.
You were different. I was different too. It happens.
And it did happen. And I'm okay with all of that experience now, because it taught me, as I said, a friend to all, an enemy to none. I know the value of connection and friendships now.
Right.
I know that a lot more than I sometimes care to admit, because when I don't see people connecting, that it triggers something in my brain. I'm like, you guys are fighting each other instead of connecting. I mean, that is a connection, but you're dividing each other so far apart. Stop that.
Right?
What? Can we maybe build a bridge? We don't need to be perfectly agreeable and be like, oh yeah, you're right. You don't need to do that. But we can find common ground. The first common ground is we're both human and we have needs. And maybe we don't need each other, but we do need other things.
Indeed. That's where we help each other.
Yeah.
I satisfy your needs. You help me satisfy my needs, and we're all happy.
Pouring into each other's cups.
Indeed.
So to go off of, my mind's all over the place. A honey-do jeter would be great right now.
I wish I brought one, but now I knew. Next time I'm bringing honey-do jeter. I promise.
I'll hold you to that one. But also, you don't need to bring anything you don't want to bring.
I want to.
Okay.
I gotta smoke with you.
That's fair. That is fair. But let's see. All right, Brain, get back on track. I know you can. Friend to all, enemy to none. Connections, important, people, not believing in enemies. I want to be able to communicate with anyone, even the people that may not like me or may not agree with me or may not jive with me. I want to be able to level with them and be like, okay, you're a human being. You have experiences that I don't have. I want to be able to learn from your experiences and teach myself so I can also teach other people and maybe teach you something too. Right. Because perspective is everything.
100%.
Perspective is everything. We're not going to have the same perspective. I hate the saying, walk a mile in someone else's shoes, because you can walk a mile in someone else's shoes, but you're not really going to get the same experience as them.
Because their shoes fit them.
Yeah. They might be too big for you.
Right. I know if my feet are too big for your shoes.
Yeah, I'm a 6.5 or 7 in women's.
Big feet.
Small feet. Arguably, I think I actually had the smallest feet in my family. I think all the women in my family were 9s.
I've never met a woman with big feet before. Every girl I've ever been with has been small-footed.
Interesting.
Like my wife, I think she wears a size 6.5.
If she's okay with sharing shoes, I would love to have someone to share shoes with.
Hey, she's got a whole DC collection.
Ooh, awesome.
She's a skater girl.
DC Comics?
No, DC, DC shoes, industrial, skater shoes.
Oh, wait, does she actually skateboard?
She used to, back in the day. My daughter skateboards. My son broke his leg skateboarding.
I have a pair of $400 roller skates that I need to learn how to use.
Oh, easy. Let's go. I'm down. I can rollerblade you all day.
Okay, cool. It is not the inline blades, though.
No, it's all right. It's still centrifugal force. So literally, you're pushing off to gain acceleration.
That is kind of the movements I was starting to learn a little bit until I fell on my butt and decided to leave.
All you do is you push left, you push right, you push left, you push right, you push left, you push right, you get faster.
Is it like a dance?
Yeah, it's like momentum. So literally when you push off, you're pushing left, you start pushing. And you push right, and you go faster, and you're building momentum. And then if you have the 4 skate runs, you have the brake in the front or the back. And then you learn how to pivot your feet to how to slow things down. It's all about equilibrium too.
Okay. I do have fairly decent balance just in general, so
what's up?
That'll help me in the endeavor of learning.
You let me know when you want to learn, and I will come over, and you'll be rollerblading within 30 minutes.
All right. Duly
Just
noted.
get you a giant pillow to wrap around your ass when you fall. So
that might be helpful.
do airbag method.
I do have the helmet, the knee pads, the arm pads, and the wrist guards.
Yeah, that doesn't stop your ass from getting banged up.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's one thing, you don't want a sore ass.
That's fair. I do sit on that sometimes.
Like, God, son, my ass took a pounding. No one was here.
Well, that's also no fun. No, I'm kidding.
Right? I need someone here to help.
Help, I've fallen and I can't get up.
My butt's sore.
Someone ice it. But, where was I? Like, yeah, that's, like, why I love conversating is because, like, I do want to learn how to conversate with people that may not, like, fuck with me. But, like, that's the problem, is even if you may not fuck with me, there's a damn good chance I fuck with you to some level.
Or you fuck with someone and that fucks with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a small community. People know somebody.
And that isn't that like the rich tapestry that is the human condition?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you can be so wealthy just with knowledge and with connection that money no longer really matters.
And that's why my mom told me I was a very rich man. I was like, Mom, I only have $100 in my bank account. And she was like, honey, you don't understand. You're so rich because you're one of the smartest people I've ever met. I was like, you're my mother. You're supposed to say that. And she was like, no, I don't have to say that. I can tell you that you're a dumbass. And that resonates with me. I know I'm a very educated person. I know that I'm smart. I know what I do. And I'm just like you. I don't like to hear it as much as I should, because it's not what we're here for. We're not here for self-gratification. We're not here to have people be like, you're amazing, you're here. No, I mean, yeah.
I'm just me.
I'm just me. And the sooner that people accept that, the sooner that people can just see that there are decent people in this world. It doesn't have to be like it is now.
I fully agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, I am honestly kind of running out of steam for this wonderful, amazing conversation.
No worries.
So I feel like we might have come to a good point to wrap this up today.
Yeah, I'm 100%.
Okay.
This was an amazing experience. It was an amazing opportunity to speak to you guys and to speak to the amazing Mars.
Thank you.
And you just talk a little about everything, about community, cannabis, mental health, ways of life, physiology. I mean, that's what a podcast should be about. It's just opening the spectrum to talk about anything that you can manifest and feel that is continuative to what you're talking about.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Stephen.
Thank you for allowing me. And please let me know anytime you want me on. I would be more than happy to help you.
So you free next week? No, I'm kidding.
I think I am free next week. If you're serious, let me know, and I will have Lisa, my marketing manager, reach out to you, and she can give you my schedule.
Okay. Much appreciated.
No, I think you have something here that can definitely grow to be something really stellar.
Thank you. Well, as always, humans of Earth and the Digital Quill family, thank you for tuning into this episode today. Today is going to be a bit special. I usually, when I do weekend episodes, I usually record them and then put them up on Monday. But for the first time ever, a weekend episode is going to be coming out on the day of.
Woo!
So, happy Saturday, guys. Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday, guys. You have a great day. Stay lifted. Follow us on Instagram and social media, and make sure to keep following on Mars's podcast, because I'll tell you what, she's going to have some things to talk about real soon.
And I'm going to have Stephen here send me any and all links that he can to any of his socials or products or
100%. I will send you links to our social medias, and then also I'll send you our event link on all the events that we work with.
Perfect. Thank you. As always, humans of Earth, keep going. Don't stop, and I will see you next time.
Peace.